All right. All right. Bar's moving. We're live, by the way.
I can just stand up and look. You can see everything.
Except for your head. Put that away.
Hi, Oscar, buddy. Hi, buddy.
How did he get back down here?
Oh, I let him down.
Because he used to call us on our cell phone.
Pimp cat.
I like the. I like the one about the A10. You used to call me on your sat phone. Late night when you need my. Oscar.
Cat butt.
Sit
Cat butt on the camera.
Oscar.
Cat butt.
Sit in the dice box. Sit in the dice tray.
No. He'll like. I think he needs to pee in it.
That would not be a good thing.
Oscar.
I keep thinking it's Philip that's making that noise.
So when are we doing?
What? The Dr.
He bit
Claw.
me!
Did he bite you or swipe at you?
No, he bit
He
me.
bit her.
Like, I mean, I pulled my hand away and I'm wearing gloves, so it didn't.
Oscar.
What?
I
didn't
was
do
trying to
anything.
get my.
You don't bite.
What? She was in my space.
No.
I was trying to get this out from under him because he sat on it. Oh my word.
You can hear it. Oh, well.
Poor buddy. I didn't mean to get him in trouble. He did bite me though.
Don't bite people. All right. Just like Will Smith was trying to explain to that whatever monster in Men in Black 2.
So when are we doing
no
this?
biting. Right now.
Okay. Do we have a 9-sided die?
No. You have a 10 and you can reroll.
Okay.
Yeah, if you roll a 10, it's a reroll. Or it's a wild.
I like that it's a wild.
Or if it's a 1, everyone loses.
I mean, we only had 3 people that voted 3 times or twice. Is that a 4 and a 5? There's no 5-sided die. What am I saying? That's a 10. Isn't there a 10 in there?
Yeah, there is.
That's cool.
I need a 10 anyways.
Or, I mean, we can, how many? 9? We can just go to Slack and say roll 1d9.
Sure.
Came up with a 9.
Hey, Google, pick a number between 1 through 9.
Okay. I actually like that. That's really fun.
Computing.
And you should like move your mic up a little bit closer to it when it does it.
Is this from today?
Yes, that's John.
Hey,
He's-
John.
He's our $5 patron.
Ooh.
Yay!
He
So-
loves us so much he created his own level because we didn't have a $5 level, which is cool because means we don't have to extra stuff. And it's also cool because if we get to 150, his wife's gonna help me out with stuff.
That's pretty cool, man.
Was this our winner? Is that what we decided?
Big money.
Or was
I think
it?
so?
Okay.
Big prizes.
Big money.
I love it.
Your hello sideways.
Yeah.
Sandy, we just need to get you a nice little laptop thing.
Well, I mean, when I bring my iPad, it works.
I know it was just that
Yeah.
everybody.
I almost brought it today, but I was like, no, I don't need it. I'm not doing anything special. It just would have been perfect.
Philip, if I had a sample of something that you did, would you hate me?
Chris has a hard drive full of stuff I've done.
Is it?
You told me about that.
You played it for him.
No.
No.
We
Yeah,
told him about it. We didn't play it. I don't think.
Yeah.
Isn't that from like 3 episodes?
It was across 2 episodes.
Okay.
Oh my god!
It's only 11 seconds.
But it's like a bajillion coughs in there. Clearing throats, whatever.
11 seconds out of 4 hours.
Well,
Ish.
that's what he could cut out.
Oh, that's what he could cut out.
The ones that were like by themselves.
If you listen to the actual episodes, you would hear that there's
Yeah,
plenty
that's
still
not gonna
in there.
happen.
That's like when we did the first live Dirtbags of Holding. I was like, Philip, this is what the intro sounds like because you've never heard it.
That's right.
That's funny.
Those can go away. Those can go away.
All right. Are we ready to get started?
I'm ready.
I'm ready.
Hi, everybody. I'm going to get like all lovey-dovey in here with Phil.
I'm all ready. You need to get closer to me, Colin, so you're fully on screen. Get all up on me here. What?
This is not that type of show,
That's
Cindy.
not what I meant.
All
Yeah,
up
it-
ons.
That's not what I meant. Were you drinking when I said that?
How about now?
Okay, good.
You would have seen it because I would have probably spat all over.
Sweet mother of God.
Hey, we're waiting for more people to show up. I'm going to unbox this thing. I just got this today.
What was I doing?
Ew. I don't like it.
Those gigantic flaps are annoying.
Yeah, it's an Asmodee
The, like,
package. They do this.
Folio style. Yeah, look
Yeah.
at that.
That's what I thought. Ooh.
Is it a book?
I didn't ask for that, but I'll take it. Sure.
That's something L5R. I thought I saw the logo.
It is something L5R.
I was right.
And then I don't know what that is.
It looks like L5R also, Chris.
Yeah. This is what I didn't ask for.
Is it a bookmark?
Shadowlands art reference cards.
Oh, cool.
And what looks like a bookmark, yes.
So is someone going to function as a runner to like hold stuff up to the
Mask
camera?
of the Oni. Art reference
Oni.
cards. Oni.
What do you mean hold stuff up to the
Because
camera?
there used to be like one of us like
Well, I mean,
We don't need to do that.
yeah, but then he bit your wife, so we kicked him out.
Ooh.
Are you going
Look
to
at
be
that. Look at that artwork.
elbowing me the whole time?
No.
Because I can
that's
move
cool.
back.
What?
Ooh.
What? Okay.
They can't see that.
Wow.
I mean,
You know what that reminds me of?
what?
It reminds me of that wall in Pandaria.
That's pretty.
Yeah, it does. You are right.
That is
Oh, is it?
correct.
Is it? Yeah. Okay. Cool.
What?
You can't see the artwork.
Yeah. I'm assuming it probably has something to do with what's in here, which I believe this is the Shadowlands book. They're coming out like. I'm actually surprised how quickly they're coming out with source books for L5R. Ah, that's what that is. It's an
Oh, that's
adventure.
what this other one.
It's an adventure. Yeah, those are reference cards for this.
That's really
Basically,
cool.
you can instead of being like, here, let me show you this page in this book. I can show you like this is what the dude looks like.
That's really cool.
I hit him in the face.
And then you have the
Dust boot.
Shadowlands
It's a pretty book.
source book. Of course, it's a pretty book. It's an FFG book. They don't make non-pretty books.
You seeing what John put? Good luck on that.
I actually have listened to his show. He sent me the first couple episodes to give some thoughts on.
Oh.
It's good stuff, especially because they're streaming a D&D game and they have no healer.
Nice.
That should be fairly entertaining.
It is. It sounds. What I've listened to. I didn't finish all of it because I'm listening through Dropbox, so it's weird. I'm gonna wait until I'm listening through the podcast player and I can save spots because it keeps like anytime I get in the car, it like starts over the episodes.
That's frustrating.
Yep. But all 5 listeners will know that they can
You guys are 3 of them.
Who's you guys? I'm not in.
Oh. Never mind.
I don't have it up.
So oh wow. Then yay.
I have my list up.
Talk, people. I command you.
Nah. All right. Are we ready to get started?
I'm ready.
Are you ready?
Working on trying to
You
working for the weekend.
You're not sitting flat on there. That's why you bent up the thing.
There you go.
You gotta figure out how to command the mouse. Not everything's on a hotkey.
Where did the? Oh, there it is. I need this.
You know what I
Put that
need?
there.
I need a new shirt with our new logo.
I just got a version of the big version with just the boards and swords piece.
Yes.
In fact,
Cool.
that's what's down there in the corner.
Awesome.
So I
We can
literally just got that today.
Make new
That's
shirts
super
before
exciting.
we go up to Dice Tower Con or down.
Yeah. That's
Down.
exactly what I want it for.
Okay, you're ready.
I am hot and ready.
Okay.
Contenders ready.
Start the show in 3, 2, 1. This podcast is
My point throw you off.
No, it's probably me being a jerk.
probably.
Because you were counting like a second behind, right?
I was just being an ass.
Oh.
This podcast is sponsored by Easy Roller Dice. Go check out their great gaming accessories by going to easyrollerdice.com. And it's also brought to you by you. Go check out our Patreon at patreon.com/boardsandswords. Live from Swordplay Studios, it's time for Boards and Swords.
Yay!
I did a different inflection there.
You did.
Threw me off.
I'm trying to think about what it reminded me of.
I wasn't paying attention. What's going on?
Nothing. Your hair looks nice.
Welcome to Boards and Swords. This is a podcast where we have fun talking about board games. I'm one of your hosts. My name's Chris Renshaw.
What's going on, everybody? I am Philip the Dirtbag.
I'm Cindy Pastorius.
And I am Colin Pastorius.
Colin the Pastorius.
We're going with last names now.
Yeah. Hey, it's so much easier when we're in a line like this
Yeah.
that Philip just knows to go next.
Oh, yeah. That's true.
It's very logical. What just happened?
Oh, no!
I was about to say it's very logical.
Well, that's our show. Let's have a good night, everybody.
Roll that beautiful beat footage.
That's weird.
All right. So normally this is the part where we start off with some news, but we have like a bit of news.
New fan favorite?
I just like the drum beat on the bang. Dun, 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 dun.
It just cracks me up.
Anyways, so Gamma happened,
Yeah.
and I didn't feel like talking about any of it.
No one's talking about it.
Exactly. That was my point. And you're all like, well, some stuff. I'm like,
I mean,
sure.
yeah.
Well,
Yes,
I
there-
said I
there-
don't know.
So there are some things that I have heard of because I follow the publishers themselves, like on social media, but I haven't heard a single person on Facebook, Twitter,
Right.
Instagram, nobody.
The only thing
I saw-
newsworthy was the announcement that Asmodee North America is going to deliver, they're going to distribute for CMON.
Oh.
That was the only
Oh.
big, and that was like the very first day, and everyone was kind of like, "That's weird." All right, next.
Yeah. I mean, I saw a couple people post while they were at Gamma, but it wasn't
Yeah.
anything like, "Oh, this game is so awesome that I just." It was like, "I'm here with my friends," you know. Like,
Yeah.
this is weird. Way different than last year.
Yes. But I will say that we do have a piece of news, and that is our Patreon has gone live.
All right.
And if you missed that at the top of the show, it's patreon.com/boardsandswords.
Uh-huh.
We don't even need, so like there's 3 levels on there, basically 2 at $10 a month, which those are just, if you decide to give us that much, we'll do some awesome stuff for you. But it's honestly, I just want people to bag at $1 a month. I don't even care if, I think, because if you think about it, it's like $12 a year.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I think that we've produced enough enjoyment that if you have the means, it's, $1 for 30 days worth of our stuff is not a bad price.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
And
If you don't have the means, and do not stress yourself, then everything that you've been getting, you're still going to get for free.
Yeah.
Mhm. You just don't get the special stuff.
And
But that's okay.
yeah, and special stuff basically means that I think the first goal, if we hit, is I'm going to make Philip do some extra podcast recordings with me probably.
Sweet.
Colin and Cindy maybe too. But
Mhm.
Philip's easier to wrangle.
Not really. He's
Well,
busier than we are.
But he's here more than you are.
True. because he has no other life.
We're a package deal.
Well, I was also going on the fact that he's on.
Rub
more
it in,
s-
Cindy. Jeez.
He's on another show.
I know.
Gosh.
Sorry, Philip. I love you.
Can I go sit over there and hit her button? Just
No, now you could just like. You're within punching range.
I would never strike a woman
I know you have other friends.
with video evidence.
But yeah, anything we get from the Patreon is basically going to go towards making new stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to like one of the things that we've got on there is and this is actually going to go to everybody, even if we unlock it. Is the RPG that we're finally going to do?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
That's us playing Starfinder, but as cats. I decided that's going to go to everybody. That's just going to be on the main show feed. We only get it if we get to $50 a month on Patreon. So
Cool.
if it's not something you want to see, that's how you have to make it happen.
I want to see it because I'm excited. I got some shiny metal dice I want to use.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah.
So, well, I'll mention it again probably at the end of the show. But with that, we've got a couple of stuff. And I know I put Millennium Blades first, but let's talk Pikoko.
Pikoko.
So we have Pikoko. Pikoko.
I like the title. It's fun to say.
So yeah, we have Pikoko from Brain Games. It is a trick-taking game in which, are you familiar with Hanabi or other games where you don't see your own cards? This is another one of those kind of games. You see everyone's cards but your own.
Mm-hmm.
And
He's pulling out the
Yeah,
peacock.
we got everyone has in front of them.
So imagine spades, but you're seeing everyone else's cards and not
Yeah.
yours.
Well, I mean, wasn't that, what's that, something, not Council of Four.
What?
What?
Something with 13 cards. Where
13
you-
clues?
Oh, 13 clues.
That
That's
one,
not
Yep.
trick-taking. No.
Well, I know, but you see, like,
Yeah, you don't,
don't
see,
see
your
a
own
portion of your
Yes.
cards. Yeah.
Yeah. So everyone has in front of them a peacock, which at first I thought these were punch board, but I pulled them out. I was like, these are like
Hard
plastic.
plastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
It's pretty
Acrylic.
cool. Yeah,
And-
there you go.
So everyone has a hand of 8 cards that are going to be sitting in this, facing away from you. And so you see everyone's hand but your own. There's 3 rounds of 8 card hands, and you go around the table at the beginning of the round, and you bet on how many I think that like the blue
many
player is going to
tricks.
win, how many the yellow player is going to win, and so on. And then you play out the hand, you reach for the cards that are in the person's card peacock to your left.
Yeah, so you're playing for the person to your left, but you're collecting for yourself. It's
Well, you're collecting for your hand. Nothing really
yeah, true.
belongs to you
That's true.
technically.
Basically, the person to your right gets to choose whether you win or hand or not.
yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
So with that, everyone also has these confidence cards, and you can bet on like which bid you placed that you think is more accurate. Like I think my white bid is the most accurate, and I'll keep that face down. If it ends up being spot on at the end, I get 3 points. If it's wrong, -1 point. And then you also have no confidence; it just gives you 8 points.
I have no clue.
Mhm.
So yeah, you go through this hand and picking cards out of the person to your left, and there's trump card that gets revealed at the beginning of the round. So if trump is present and it is if it's present and whoever has the highest in that trump suit will win the hand.
Like a
Yeah.
normal trick-taking game.
Mm-hmm. And then you'll resolve your bids. If you're like 1 off, you get 1 point. If you're dead on, you get 2 points. If you're more than 1 off, it's no points.
What if you're 0.1 off?
Oh, whatever.
We're doing that again, huh?
That's going to be a thing from now on.
But yeah, you go through 3 rounds of that, and at the end of the game, you tally up, and whoever has the most points is the winner.
Didn't I win this?
I think I burned that score sheet, so there is no record.
Yeah, Colin, I don't think did very well.
I didn't log that play either.
What?
I did. I'm pretty
I
sure
did
I won.
too.
So these peacocks alone are pretty awesome.
Yes,
Like,
they're so nice.
Really nice
such
card holders.
quality.
I might keep it around.
You might
just
keep
for
them
these.
just as card holders.
Yeah. It's like, okay, ticket to ride, put that ticket in there.
I see
I don't know though, because I actually like this game.
I like it too, Chris. I
Because
like this
it's
strategy.
different. It's a very different sort of trick-taking game.
Yeah, and while I enjoy it,
He doesn't enjoy playing with me.
I have not enjoyed playing with Cindy because
I get
every
mad at
time
him.
we've played it, she's like, "Why did you just do that?"
Mhm.
She's thinking
Oh,
she can see
yeah.
all the cards. I'm like, "You don't
Yeah.
see your own hand."
That did happen when we were playing. Like, why did you pick that card?
It happened with his parents too.
Mhm.
I'm competitive, and
I'm not very
if you
good at
didn't-
trick-taking games either.
He's not. And if you didn't know this about me, when I have a plan and it doesn't go the way I wanted it to, I get very frustrated.
Oh, we know.
Yes.
The people at this table know it.
That's what yeah, I know.
Nah, I've never picked up on that.
So when I have an idea of like what cards should get played when, and he doesn't do it that way, it makes me frustrated. And
Yeah.
I shouldn't let it do that.
Everything's great
that-
until them dang players.
Yeah.
Yeah, the issue
Hey,
with
I think
this.
you'd like Suburbia.
Yes, we do like
I'm
it.
giving you the death glare.
I chose to just ignore the slight and just take it as a compliment. Like, yes, we do like that game. The only issue I have with this game is you can't play it with two. Like most trick-taking games, you need at least 3 or 4 players.
Well, we have a couple that you can play with too.
Yeah, well, Gorus Maximus you can play down to solo, as we
Right.
figured out,
Mhm.
and Fox
Fox
in
in
the
the
Forest
Forest.
is a 2-player trick-taker.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, most of the ones that I've heard of are at least
Typically,
3
if you're going to
players.
play a trick-taking game, you're going to have at least 3 people normally.
Yeah.
I think, honestly, for trick-taking, if you've got 2 people, you're going to play a different kind of game.
Yeah.
True.
So,
Mm-hmm.
but, I mean, this Brain Games is kind of
I-
on a roll as
yeah.
far as, like, there's not really been a whole lot of misses.
Yeah.
This did take me a bit to wrap my head around when you were first explaining it. Just the okay, I'm drawing for her, I'm drawing for Cindy, but
Mm-hmm. But you're
my-
scoring for yourself.
I'm scoring for my. That took me a second. Like once
Yeah.
I was onto it. Like once we started playing, made sense.
Yeah,
Right.
I think I'm going to start trying to do a thing with, like, especially games where I need at least 3 players, and I'm
Right.
not just with Cindy. Like, when it's just the 2 of us, I can fumble around with rules.
Yeah.
It's like, hang on, let me...
I would not score the first round too.
I offered that option to my parents.
But your mom was doing really well.
Yeah. When we did it, it's like, we can just do it a practice round unless everyone thinks we're okay. And then
Right.
it was
Like
fine.
I would not even like teach. I would just practice round, play it kind of thing.
Mhm.
Like, teach as you go through
Teach as
a
you
round.
go through the practice
Yeah,
round.
that
Like,
could work.
okay, now that everybody understands, we're gonna score this.
Yeah, because a round doesn't take too long.
no,
I mean, it
You
says on
could
the
even-
box it's
you
a
could even-
30-minute game.
you could even deal out like 4 cards,
Mm-hmm.
just so everyone gets the habit
Gets
of
the feel of it. Yeah.
okay,
Oh, sure,
I'm
yeah.
picking for this person
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Yeah. This game is beautiful though. Oh my
Mhm.
gosh.
Yeah.
The backs of the even the fronts of the cards are gorgeous.
Oh, yeah. So the side that you see is like regular
It's
peacock feathers.
Yeah,
And on the other side, it's like
it's
the
other
different color
it's peacock
suits.
feathers, but they're just
and
in
I
color.
did like the graphic design piece where if you flip the cards around, that as long as you can see the peacock eye,
Mm-hmm.
then your
Then the numbers are
the
showing.
numbers are visible.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
So
good,
when
that's
you're
good.
when you're lining your
Mhm.
cards up, you're not like, hold on, can you move that one a little bit to
yeah,
the left?
exactly.
Why is
Since
that,
you can't look at the fronts of your own cards.
why is
it
that card
makes-
French?
Oh, so they have some cards.
Yeah,
they
there's
ha-
a few
is there
cards
8
that are
cards or
multi-co-
6 cards.
4.
Oh, 4 cards. 4 cards that have 3 colors on them.
So the suits.
It's just
there's
one of each
like
suit.
5 different suits, and it goes 1 through 11. Is it 1? I think it's 1 to 11. Yeah. And aside from, there's 4 triple cards, and they count for that number across 3 suits.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And whoever, when you play that card, the person playing it determines what color they want it to be.
Gotcha.
Unless it
Unless
can
it,
be in
unless
suit.
it can be in suit, and then it has to
Because
be in suit.
like most trick takers, if you can play in suit, you have to.
Something that we discovered playing with his parents, because after you've dealt out the cards, you flip over one more card, and that's your trump card for the round. If you flip over a
The
like
triple,
multicolored
yeah.
one, there's no trump.
Mm.
That happened with our
It
parents.
yeah, it was really.
Okay.
I'm like, oh, what do we do? Do I just pick because I,
See,
flipped it
normally I
over?
would have
But
thought you just flip a new card over.
no,
Mm.
but there's no trump. It made it an interesting round not having
It
a
did.
trump.
That's when she was like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah,
Although I
was.
will say, when we played it, I don't know if it's the way that the colors, the blue looked like purple one time,
in the
or the
yes.
purple looked like blue. I had a
It was
bit
in
of
the
a,
multi
The
thing, right?
multicolor cards.
the multicolor
are
card,
the tricky ones.
and it was just something about the way it was placed. It just one made it look like the other.
Yeah, it's because they blend the colors. Like,
like
this
the-
yellow looks like orange.
Like the white doesn't really look white on its own. It's more of like a light blue, and
Yeah.
on the triple card, it actually looks white.
Yeah,
Right.
and this looks orange, not yellow.
Yeah.
It's strange, but there is no orange in the game. This is not colorblind friendly though. That's definitely a downside.
Yeah.
I'm trying to like cover up the triple colors and see if I
Oh,
can
to
do
see
like a
what
comparison.
see what's what.
But yeah, it's still kind of orangey color. But yeah, there is no orange. There is no light blue. So if you know that, it's a little easier.
Mm-hmm.
So Colin's not a fan of trip-taking games, but he's keeping it for the.
Yeah, at least for the
He's
card
keeping for the
holders.
card
And
holders.
Cindy likes it.
I
So
Cindy
like
likes it. I think it was neat.
I think my mom would like this game.
as a game, I like it. I just
Wait, I thought you
Don't.
said she played it.
His
no, my
mom.
parents.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I just don't like playing it with Cindy. So if I play it, I'll make sure it's when she's not around.
Or I'll just have to be on my best behavior.
That would probably be a better option.
Mm-hmm.
So Pikoko gets a thumb up from me.
All right.
I realized the last episode I didn't do any thumbs.
I'll give it 1.5 thumbs.
So, first of all, I just want to say that ever since last time I talked about, I lamented about Seafall, and we've just decided since we've had this group going now that we meet once a week when we were playing Seafall, and we stopped. We're like, let's just sneak in other campaign games that we've been meaning to play forever. So I finally got Time Stories back on the table.
Yeah.
Nice.
And played through the first two. We've played we've played up to where we were.
Okay.
So we finished Prophecy of Dragons.
Yeah.
I gotta say, the only caveat with that game is if you give it 2 to 3 years, you can play the scenarios again.
Because you don't remember.
Because you don't you remember there was one time I was like, I'm pretty sure this is a trap. And then we went to the other one, and that one turned out to be the trap.
Yeah.
I was thinking that could work with like the unlock
It's-
games probably too.
It's been a while since you and I have played Time Stories too. It's
I
been at
wanted to
least
do the
2
Prophecy
years.
of Dragons one.
I just remember my first character was a
The cannibal?
female redhead.
Oh, the eroticism
Yes.
person?
Yeah. She was
At the
Erotomania.
asylum.
That's
Yeah.
what it was.
Erotomania. That's what she was in the asylum
I think
for.
Corey ended up playing that character in.
She did it. All right.
But I will say the only caveat is you can't take that game seriously in the sense of if you play it 100% by the rules, you will probably flip the table.
Oh yeah.
Because there's been like a couple of times where it's like we get to the very end and like we hit some trap that just kills like 5-10 time off. We're like, let's just like rewind and we'll move it back to where it started.
Mhm.
Just like we just came in here.
Or like in the first scenario, it says like, I think it's like on your third time through, you don't really keep track of time. It keeps moving, but
Spoilers.
oops. This is if you go through a third time.
Yeah.
But
There's been like 1 or 2 things where it's like you made one fault choice and like 20 time units are gone. We're like, let's just say that didn't happen.
yeah.
Because I don't want to
So-
like, you get through it and you're like, I don't want to go to here and then go to there and then go to here, then go to
Mhm.
there, knowing exactly what we need to do in
Yeah.
the puzzle.
Yeah, the person that we played, because we played it 3-player when we played through the Asylum and the
Marcy,
Marcy case, and the person we played with would never have allowed that. He was
No,
ve-
we played 4-player.
we did.
At least one of them because we had.
Oh yeah, that was the first. That was the Asylum. I think Marcy case it was just 3 of us. But anyway, one of the guys we were playing with would never have allowed us to, like, just do that.
We're all like to the point where like,
I would do that.
we've
though.
been here for 3 hours. I
I
don't want
would
to be
do
here
that.
for another hour just to go through the motions.
Yeah, I would do that.
We're
too.
finally getting to what the stuff I've never seen before. So next time we play will be Under the Mask.
Cool.
Oh yay!
But in another twist, over in the pile of games, I've had a box of Munchkin collectible card game packs. Mainly because I got they had this collector or this like starter box that came with 6. Like, oh, this will be great for drafting because it's making fun of CCGs,
Mhm.
etc. I can't get anyone to play it mainly because it's got Munchkin on the box.
Yeah.
However, I think I fixed that. And that is, I got to try out Millennium Blades from Level
Nice.
99 Games. And this is basically a CCG in a box.
A CCG in a box.
Yeah.
That
And when I
sounds like
mean
an
like
LCG.
the entire experience of a CCG, like buying packs, trading cards with your friends, going to a tournament, Everything is in this game.
Oh, so you're saying it like people say Rebellion, Star Wars in a box.
Yes.
That kind of thing.
Like this is, that whole experience of playing Magic the Gathering, the entire experience in the box, not just the card game in a box.
Okay.
Interesting.
So, but it does a lot of the making fun of CCGs in it, like the flavor text and some of the card
that's cool.
abilities. But I was like, Philip, you got to play this
The
game.
card art.
The card art. I was like, Philip, you got to play this game. So I had him come over, and the first time I played with the same group that we were playing Time Stories, because I wanted to get this played while the Kickstarter was still on for their Collusion expansion.
Oh
Mhm.
yeah.
Which I did back because I enjoyed it enough the first time I played. However, it was kind of finicky when we played it. There's a lot of there's giant stacks of cards, and we were shuffling this huge deck together. And then when we finished, we had to rifle out like 12 different sets of cards and back into
yeah.
their individual. And everybody there was just kind of like, I don't think I'd ever play this game again. Like, it was okay, but this is too much work for me.
Yeah, I feel that same way about Unfair. Like, I probably wouldn't want to play it with like three or two would probably be the max.
Right.
Because I think having 5 stacks together is
Oh,
like it's too many
having to-
cards.
Unshuffle them at the end.
But I went on the Kickstarter page, and they had a revised rule book on there. And some of the things I didn't like got fixed in there. Like, you get these sell tokens that you have to put on a card when it goes to the aftermarket.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the only way you can sell cards. And the either until you get to the next tournament, you don't get it back, or you get it back when someone else buys that card. You get it. But you would in the base game, you also use those to trade them in to trade in your junk cards for special promo cards. And what it means is you end up spending them all for that, and you can't sell any because you're out. Whereas they changed it so you don't trading in for promos doesn't require these special tokens.
Okay.
And also they split the core decks and all the expansions into 2 separate decks, so it's less sorting you have to do. It just made it a lot easier when we played. But basically, yeah, you everybody gets packs of cards, which each card is a pack because typically you throw out everything but the rare card anyways. And then you build a deck of 8 cards, and then you go to a tournament where you play 6 of those cards, and then the winner gets points. And then while you're building your deck, there are a couple of ways, or there's like 1 or 2 ways you can get points.
Mm-hmm.
And then at the end of the game, whoever has the most points wins the game. And you play like 2 or 3 rounds, depending on how long or how new you are to the game.
Okay.
You got stacks of cash in this game too,
Yes,
right?
that is a pain though, because it just comes with a whole bunch of paper money that you need to like take 10 of these bills and tape them together. No joke. That took me 2 hours to do. That was just Ashley had something on the TV, and I'm just sorting and wrapping.
Wrapping my money, honey.
Yeah. But Philip, what did you think of this game?
I liked it.
Is that it?
That's Philip's stamp.
I get it gets my stamp of approval.
Okay.
All right.
Put it on the table. I'll play it.
Okay. Yeah. So there's they just finished up the Kickstarter for the expansion, which offers like so many cards. It's funny because every time the 2 times I pulled out this deck, like, oh, did you have all the expansions? No, it just comes with several mini sets of cards that or each one has a different theme, but that just comes in the game. Like there's 12 master sets and like 15 premium sets, but that's just to give you a whole lot of variety out of the base box. So
Cool.
Eric in the chat room's wanting to know if you sell plasma to buy more cards.
Maybe that's in the collusion.
That's true. Well, the collusion actually brings in team play. So you can play like 2
Oh.
players versus 2 players.
Interesting.
So I don't know how that would play, but Philip and I had a lot of fun, just the 2 of us playing.
How long did it take the 2 of you?
It was still a learning game.
It says about 2 hours.
It
on the
was
box.
about 2 hours.
Okay.
I like that it says intensity high.
Yeah, I saw that and I thought that was pretty funny.
It cracks me up. I mean, I don't know.
About 2 full hours of gameplay because we took a break.
Yeah, that's true. We did take and it's neat. It is great the way they do it. Is I've not played a full game of this yet because the way it's structured is you have 3. The full game is you play 3 deck building phases and 3 tournaments. But they say if you're teaching the game, you do what's called a pre-release tournament at the beginning of the game, and it removes one round of play. So you
Oh.
only do 2 deck building and then 2 tournaments. But the pre-release tournament is nice because it gets people who don't know how to play, like, this is how the game is going to play. So when you're deck building, you know what to look for. Because if you don't, then you're just getting a bunch of cards like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like you start with a starter set, and the pre-release tournament lets you at least like, okay, this is what my base deck's doing. Is this worth keeping any of these, or is this worth shuffling out?
Okay.
I might need something like that because I was terrible at deck building in Magic.
Yeah, I was too. The first time we played this, I lost every tournament. I came in last so bad. But I will say the second time we played with Philip, I actually did do that bad. I don't know if it was the fact it was only 2 players, and
That
so
could be.
I felt like the second time we played. I don't know how it was for you, but the first time I played, it was a lot of chaos. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. But then, like, with the second time, I'm like, okay, I'm going to get a couple cards. I'm going to sell this one. Like, some of them, like, this one's a high power, but I bought it at a low cost. I'm going to get rid of that and get some money and then buy a bunch of cards with that.
Mm.
Like, do I really need that one special ability?
Gotcha. So,
Cool.
do you prefer this at the lower or higher player count then?
Or do they
it's-
both have merit?
They both have merit.
Okay.
The lower player count was great for kind of, I think starting out, it's good to be at the lower player count to get a feeling for the game.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
The higher player count's nice because, especially, you're going through more cards. So like
That's the big one.
like people are like, there's this aspect called collections. It's one of the ways you earn points in the deck building.
Mhm.
Where if you have a bunch of cards with all the same type but different strength values, and the more of them, different ones you have, the more points you can get. Well, you can only get so many of those through buying and stuff. So you can trade with people equal cards, or if you see something out there in the aftermarket, you can get it and grab it. So with more people, you just have more chances for that stuff.
Gotcha.
Okay.
But
Cool.
it definitely can be a little chaotic with 4 people right out the bat.
Okay.
So there you go. Millennium Blades from level 99.
Are they the same ones that did Boss Monster?
No.
Who did Boss Monster?
Boss Monster is something called like Brotherwise Games.
Okay. Why do I
Uh,
know level 99?
Level 99 did Exceed. They also did Pixel Tactics.
Ah, that's the one.
Yes.
I knew it was something with like pixel art.
Yeah. The biggest thing is if the theme of like a CCG playing a CCG simulator intrigues you, probably gonna like this game. If I say that theme and you have no interest in it, don't play this game because it's a little bit tedious to set up and the payoff's not as big. It's really thematic,
Hmm.
so if you're interested in that theme, it pays off. But if you're not, it can be a hard sell.
Yeah, I'm intrigued.
Right.
I don't know that I would love it, but I've been intrigued to play it, especially because of the stacks of cash.
Yeah.
I have no desire to play it.
And see, that was I could see you probably would not enjoy this game.
I've never played a CCG in my life, so
We can fix that.
nope.
We can fix that.
Still no desire.
You've deck built though. But
I have. I do like deck building.
Didn't say you had to buy cards. We've got plenty of them.
Yeah, I know.
next step is to swap out the cards in this with the Munchkin CCG cards.
Oh, there you go. And just slowly indoctrinate people.
Yeah.
You've been playing Munchkin the entire time.
I don't know. I like the way this does the making fun of CCGs better
Mm.
because the Munchkin CCG has the CCG element to it, whereas I feel like if the Munchkin CCG was more like this, where it's a self-contained box,
Mm.
it would be a lot better,
Gotcha.
kind of thing.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So, with that, do you want to do prizes now, or do you want to do our giveaway, or do you want to do our list first?
No, let's do the giveaway.
Let's do the giveaways. So,
Yeah.
first of all, I'll go ahead and mention you still have time, as you're hearing this, to go to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/boards and swords. There's a video on there. It says support us on Patreon, and you don't have. This is a contest. It's to raise awareness of our Patreon, but you don't have to actually be a patron to win this contest. I
Right.
just want to make that clear. All you got to do though is go to that video, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and comment on the video, saying whatever.
Mhm.
Please be nice.
Pretty easy.
But that's all you got to do.
I feel like you could have just said no purchase necessary, void where prohibited.
Yeah,
and
there
I
you
would have got the point.
There you go. And if you do
Is that
that,
what that means?
That's what that means.
you're going to get our awesome set of metal dice that we still have from Easy Roller.
Yay.
You're going to get that. But we have other stuff to give away.
Yeah. So we are closing out our contest to win 2 copies of Gorus Maximus. I mean, one person's
One
not
of
winning
2,
2.
yeah.
You can win 1 of 2. And so we actually had 2 ways to enter. You could have either told us, like, what's the most embarrassing way to die in a gladiator fight, or the results of a fight between the members of Boards and Swords. So we had 3 entries for a fight amongst our team here. And so we just decided that we would, instead of rolling a die, we would just pick our favorite. And so our favorite comes from Zachary Dahl, and he said that Cindy enters the Coliseum ready to perform the musical entertainment before the battle between Colin and Phil. She serenades the crowd beautifully. This is why I like this so much. The combatants enter the battle arena. Phil eggs on Colin by saying that he'd rather buy a ranch in Montana than play Montana because all Western and farming-themed games are terrible.
I like to think that I mind-controlled Philip in this circumstance.
Yeah,
You
that's
did.
my thinking of how you're
yep.
in this fight.
So Cindy, me, hears this comment and she flies off in a blind rage, takes Colin's sword and stabs Phil in the heart. Then Cindy asks if anyone has any cute piggies, and Colin is declared the winner.
See, I like that because you end up being a sociopath.
Yeah, yeah.
Completely
so-
unfazed by what she just did. She's any
All of-
cute animals, guys?
So all 3 of the entries for this were hilarious. I mean, they were all just great. And the other 2, I won in both of them. But I don't know. This one just had my heart because I was a singer,
So,
and I'm a singer.
Zachary Dahl.
Zachary Dahl.
Zachary Dahl, need to email feedback@boardsandswords.com and give us your address so we
Yep.
can pass that along
Yep.
to Connor.
So, but then anyway, for the rest of you that entered, we appreciate all of your comments, and they were all hilarious. I'm so excited that I was just having so much fun reading
Yep.
through what you guys said. But we have a list of 9 people that entered, so we are going to ask Google
Yeah.
to
Well, so hang on.
give us a winner. What?
Zachary
Zachary
Dahl's on
should
the
get
list.
ta-
Can't
yeah.
win twice,
So
so
it's
now
8.
we have 8 people.
So we have 8 people.
All right.
So we
There
could
we
roll
go.
a die.
It was funny. We found it. We could roll a die, but it was funnier when we had Google do it.
That's right.
It was. All right,
I
so
gotta stand up and get the mic closer.
All
Hey,
right.
Google, pick a number between 1 and 8. Didn't it pick 3 last time?
yes, it,
It did. It's
But anyway, we have a 3, and 3 is Anthony Baird or Bard.
All
however you
right.
pronounce your last name.
Yay.
Congratulations.
Anthony.
I would say that's Baird.
Baird.
Yes.
Okay.
So, Anthony, you also need to email us feedback@boardsandswords.com and give us your address.
Yay.
Both of you guys
Congratulations.
have won a retail copy of Gorus Maximus.
Good game.
Which is a trick-taking game I was not too bad at.
No.
Guys, it's time.
For what?
It's time.
Hang on.
Last year about this time, because it was right after Gamma, because we had Chaz on,
That's right.
we got to our top 10 games of all time. Well, it's time to revisit those lists. It's been a year. I got to say, in general, when I made my list this year, I did a little bit more filtering on the games that got put in. I was much happier with it. Like, there's going to be an article coming out because I decided I'm going to talk about the rest of the top 50.
Oh, okay.
But I
Oh,
was
of
like,
yours?
yeah, like I was looking at last year's top, like 50 to 41,
Mhm.
and it was just like filler. Like a lot of these, like they're just here because I didn't really have anything else to put there. Whereas this year, it's like solid like games,
Mm.
Okay.
even some like higher game. Like there was a lot of drop and fluctuation on my list. But I'm a very
Interesting.
cult of the new player.
Mm.
Yeah, you are.
So, and Philip gets to join us this year.
Hooray. You forced
Yeah.
him to make a list.
Yeah, when we played Millennium Blades before that, I sat him down and we made a list. We lost the list.
And then I made my own list.
And then he made his own
This was
list.
one big ruse.
How did you lose it?
Well, so the AP or the basically the website crashed,
Oh,
and I was like, let me try and save, and so I logged in, and so it switched over to my list
Ah.
and just lost it, and so like we were coming up with, okay, what was it? I think it was this, and this.
Yeah.
So I have a vague idea of what
And
this
then I
list
just went and
might
redid
be.
it.
And then he ended up later. So Phil has his own BGG account now.
What?
Ooh.
What?
That was how I did it. Is I went into BGG and put in all the games, and then used the Pub Meeple
Okay, so
website.
you made it, and now Phil can maintain it if he wants.
Yeah, that was a little bit of a hassle because there was like he'd be like, confirm this email so I could do that.
Yeah, but then I found out that actually, so the whole like change your password link, that was not behind the email verification wall. It was just so I could put in like a background information about myself.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, it's
Why is that even behind a verification
BGG is
wall?
just a weird site.
It is.
So with that, we're only going to do 10 this time. We're not going to go through the entire top 50.
Good, because I only did 10.
Okay, because I only have 43.
I limit.
Like my list only goes to 43.
All right.
I cut 48 things off my list.
What?
It was a
Well,
list
meaning
of,
like the games that.
Oh, that's right,
Yeah.
because it was 91 total.
it was a
That's
list
right.
of 91. Yeah.
That's right.
All right. So number 10.
Who's first?
Who's starting? You want me to start? I'll
Go
start.
for it.
Oh.
Number 10 is a new entry this year
Oh.
from Simon, and it's a game that I'm pretty sure everybody at this table's played. There are 2 versions of this game.
Council of 4?
Nope. Railroad Inc.
Oh, yeah.
It's
yeah.
Number
like it
10.
could
I was like,
be
it's not Council of 4.
Railroad Inc.
I
is
don't-
currently kind of my favorite of the roll-in rights.
Sweet.
So it earns its place on there, and I just enjoy playing it.
It is a pretty thinky rolling right.
Yeah.
Like,
I've
for the-
never... I haven't played with the expansions too much, other than one time we played with the expansions.
with
the
the
lakes.
lakes.
Yeah.
Jinx.
But even though I have them all, I have both copies now. But yeah, that's my number 10 is Railroad Inc.
Cool.
Cool.
Philip's pulling his up.
There it is. There it is. There it
Okay.
is. Well, I hit save PDF. I didn't like rename it, so I had
Mm.
no idea what it was called. All right, so number 10 is
By the way, if you're following along in the chat room, I want bets on to where Munchkin ends up on this list because it's not where you think.
Is
That was
right?
surprising, unless he changed it. Possibility he changed it.
Don't think it.
Okay.
Well, it didn't. It didn't. It's not number 1.
Yeah,
Ooh.
that was surprising.
Ooh.
Okay.
That is a
All
little surprising.
right. Number 10 is Battlestar Galactica, the board game.
Hey.
If you know Philip, that's not a
But that's
surprise.
not surprising at all.
What is surprising is we've only played this once.
We have played this game once. That is correct. But it's one of those ones I want to put it on the table again.
Yeah,
Cool.
that's one I've been wanting to try. That's like
Yeah.
the social deduction game for a lot of people
Okay.
that want a game that's not
uh,
just social deduction. I'm saying.
Okay,
That's not just social deduction. I can put that up because you can be the admiral and like,
maybe.
nuke 'em.
I would kind of want to throw out Dark Moon at some point, playing that. Basically, it started off as a print and play someone made called Battlestar Galactica or
The dice game.
BSG Express.
Oh, that's
Was
right.
a way of getting that fill in a smaller time frame, and then someone basically reskinned it without the battle, like Stronghold, because they couldn't get the Battlestar IP, just made it as like a virus is taking over a
Mhm.
space station or something.
All right.
But why? So is it just purely on the IP?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it was a fun game to play, even though we didn't actually finish.
Oh my gosh.
Well,
Yeah.
we were screwing up the entire.
Oh, we were
game,
screwing
so-
up the entire game,
We-
and then
we had-
finally we just got so far into it. We're just like,
All right.
you want to go get some food? Yeah, let's go get some food. All right, food's good. We're gonna go get food. This is great. Yeah. So number 10, Battlestar Galactica.
Cool.
Okay. So my number 10 was my number 4 last year,
Oh,
Oh.
and it is Gold West.
Gold West.
Still a great game. I don't know. I mean, there's 9 other games or 6 other games I liked more.
I'm gonna need whoever's in the chat to put down how many of Colin and Cindy's 10 through 1 are Western games.
The answer may surprise you.
Just like the bet would be for me, how many of my games are CMON or FFG?
There you go. That's yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so game we don't care about. So Colin, next one.
So my number 10, I'm expecting to hear from my left, is Grand Austria Hotel.
That doesn't surprise me.
Oh.
So of the Simone Luciani games, it is my favorite.
There you go. Now she did.
Yeah, there you go.
I left mine off. That's okay. Apparently, it's not my.
I
top
still
10.
got the gasp. I'm counting it. So this has dice drafting. What I'm considering variable player powers. It's actually you have a hand of powers and you can acquire more and like basically customize your special power throughout the whole game, and that's usually something I like in a game anyway. Is the variable player powers, and the fact that you can stack onto it is like infinitely awesome to me.
It is a good game. I just suck. Suck.
Yeah. It's one of those. It's kind of got that sort of feed your people type thing. Like in every pair of rounds, you have to get to a certain level on a track, and if you don't, you like suffer a consequence. And so that's the part that Cynthia sucks at.
I'm familiar with that mechanic.
No.
Mostly because I never reached, I never reached the milestones. So I
No,
always
not
had the negative.
necessarily. I just never score very well.
Oh, okay.
I just never have a good score in that game. I can't believe I didn't put Marco Polo on my list. In
Shame.
my top 10.
All right, for number 9.
Honorable
I would have
mention.
kicked. I would have kicked Gold West off.
Oh, out
no,
of the top 10.
I mean, I love Gold
Oh.
West. It's a great game, but I love Marco Polo too.
It's tied for 10th.
Yeah, they're tied for 10th. There we go.
All right, number 9.
Number 9.
Another Simon game.
What do you know?
Arcadia Quest comes in. It was
Ah.
on the list last year. I think it was in like the 30s or 40s. But A, I got it to the table again.
I was about to ask.
B, there was a Kickstarter where I got more stuff for it. And C, I have a desire to get it. Like, I'm like committed. I'm like, I need to get this played because I have a whole bunch of stuff for it now, and I need to play through it. So that's why I like that, and the plays of it I've had. Just it's so great. It's got everything I love: minis, dice.
How many of them can we smash together to make one big game?
Not really that many because it's scenarios.
Oh, that's right, scenarios. Well, I mean, pets and riders, you can smash those into base and inferno, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's
Yeah, I have it. We did pets,
Yes.
which that was fun,
Pets was fun.
especially because his allowed him to be extra jerky. But
I played riders at Simon Expo
Yes.
last year.
and I didn't throw that in because I didn't want to overly complicate it. So
Sorry, John's asking in the chat. Yes, there are 10 to 20 Western themed games.
they're not the 10 to 20 good themed Western.
Oh my gosh!
You don't think any Western themed game is good?
Exactly my
Col-
point.
So Colin alone had like 20 Western themed games in his top
No,
50.
there is one.
Well, no,
good,
I think I
there's
had, like,
one
12.
good Western game. That's Firefly.
But that's the one Colin doesn't like.
Yeah, I didn't care for that one.
Well,
I just don't like the pick up and deliver.
you okay?
I love
So you
Firefly.
haven't played Brigands and Broncos.
No,
Okay,
no,
haven't.
I'd probably like that one.
I don't think
I
any
want
of
to
us
put that
have.
on the table.
I don't even think you have.
I haven't. No,
Exactly.
I opened the box. There's some cool
so
stuff. in
why
it.
would he have played it if you haven't played it?
I don't know, because he's a grown man.
What's
He
your
does
number
his own
9?
thing.
Bring it over. We'll have some bro time.
We
there you
got
go.
8 more of these to go. Come
That's
on.
right. All right. So number 9, Ashes: Rise of the Phoenix Born.
Yes,
Ooh.
Oh,
That's a good game.
that was number 30, but only
Oh.
because it doesn't get played that much.
Okay.
There's
yeah.
a lot of games on this.
a lot
Another
of
game
games
I
on
would
the list,
probably
yeah.
suck at.
Huh? Oh, I
Card
don't know,
games. I
it's-
suck at card
There's
games.
one
It's
thing
a
in
card
here.
and dice.
The only thing I will say about this game that I've just why has nobody else done this?
Mhm.
You get to pick your starting hand.
Hmm.
oh,
Oh,
in
yeah.
Ashes.
In Ashes, like 5, it's not shuffle your deck, draw 5 cards. No, it's what 5 cards would you like your starting hand to be?
That's cool.
I think there was one. I forget what it was. It's Tom's crazy about this on the
Oh.
Dice Tower, but it's like everything is in binders for the game, and you pick which cards you want in general.
Mage Wars.
No, I don't think it was Mage Wars,
No, not Mage Wars.
No.
Okay.
but I'm not going to bother with the name.
Anyways,
Anyway.
Not exactly the same.
by the way, I need to see what Eric's agreeing with
Oh yeah, I was
in
wondering
the chat
that
room.
too.
But so Philip loves just because it's deck building with dice,
Deck building, dice, dueling.
awesome artwork.
The artwork is great.
This is
Cool.
building the deck before gameplay starts.
Yes.
Yeah,
This is your LCG style
yeah.
game.
And that's where I kind of suck.
Oh, I do too.
Yeah.
Well, we've played with just the default decks.
Oh, there's default settings.
Yes.
Okay, I can get
There,
behind
so
that.
the way it was is instead of like a planeswalker like there is in Magic, there are Phoenixborn, and each Phoenixborn comes in the rule book with a suggested deck list, and
Okay.
we just play with that.
Cool. Yeah, that's why I was able to play Netrunner and not hate it.
Yeah, just like the expansions are just a Phoenixborn in her deck, but you could mix in, you could deck build and mix in your own stuff. But
Gotcha.
haha, Eric agrees with me on Firefly.
Boo.
Eric,
Whatever.
it wasn't so much of the Facebook delay. It was the more of we hadn't looked at the screen in a while.
Yeah.
Eric
too.
is now my least favorite fan.
And
We are at war, sir.
Ember Salica comments on the new camera angle. Yeah, we got this bigger table that allowed us to spread out. So I was like, we can go down to one camera angle.
Mm-hmm.
The big table allows us to spread out, so we bunched up.
Squeeze.
Can I tell you my number 9 now?
Nope. Colin, what's your number?
I'm going to defer to Cindy.
I'm gonna let you finish, but no.
My number 9 is Stone Age.
Cool.
I like Stone Age. We haven't played it in a long time,
It's
and
been
it
a
makes me
while.
really sad.
Where was it
'Cause
last
I
year?
love it. I think it was 4 last year.
You said
Ooh.
Gold West was 4.
Everything
Everything's
was
number
4.
four.
Everything's number 4.
Everything's number 4.
Oh, Stone Age was number 5 last year. Oh, number 5 last year.
About $100.
So, I don't know. I like Stone Age a lot. It just doesn't get played as much as I would like it to.
What do you like so much about it? Dice rolling?
I like the dice rolling. I like the trying to collect the cards to make the set
Mm-hmm.
of the different like artifact type things.
I kind of get into the theme of it.
Yeah. And
It's for the most part, it's kind of not really there, but you got the love hut, and you, every time
Yeah.
I put people out to go hunt or go into the fields to get food, I feel the theme a little bit there. It's like you send out 10 guys, they're gonna take down a mammoth, so you're gonna have more food.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, I really like that game a lot. Stone Age.
It's a good one. I forget what my number 9 through 1 was. I knew what my 10 was. Oh yeah, so number 9, first Western game on the list, Circle the Wagons.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
that's a good game.
2-player card drafting game, and you're building out your tableau as you draft these cards, and variable score conditions. It gives that kind of similar to Kingdom Builder. You're going to have like different scoring objectives in each game, and it's a sweet game. We take it to restaurants still, play it when we're waiting
Mhm.
for our food.
Yeah,
Plays
quick.
really fast.
We played it at a pizza place in Colorado.
So is that like your challenge when you're at the restaurant? It's like, can we finish a game before the plate's in
Kind
the
of,
table? Is that-
actually.
Yeah,
okay, gotcha.
Sprawlopolis is similar.
little
We bring
longer.
that in there, but we'll get down to like 1 or 2 cards left, and our meal will come, and then we just eat and decide where we want to put the last cards.
Hey.
Because Sprawlop is cooperative, where this is competitive.
Yeah.
But yeah, Circle the Wagons, number 9.
Number 8 for me was my number 2 game last year.
Number 2,
Yes.
Oh.
Euphoria.
Euphoria is my number 8.
I remembered that.
This is only because when I reach for a Stonemaier game, it's not the Stonemaier game I reach for.
Yeah.
I know which one it is.
No way. Anyway, I love the game. It's great. It's just one of those I haven't played it because usually it's I reach for something else.
Mhm.
I own it now.
Wait.
No way.
I love it.
Yeah, with the game trays insert too.
Yeah,
Oh, it's amazing.
And the expansion, we just got that too.
that's right.
Excited for that.
That was
too.
normally an expansion, especially I heard about it. I was like, ooh, maybe I'll still get Euphoria. Then I saw what it added, and I was like,
What I thought was cool, I thought the Automa was just for the solo, but you can play it with 2 players, and it simulates a 4-player game, so you have more bumping. So that excites me.
Me too.
All right. Number 8.
Number 8 is Arcadia Quest.
Yes! We're 1 off. High five.
Got
High
some
five.
crossover.
Arcadia Quest is great. I highly recommend everyone buy the Riders expansion and always play with that.
You didn't back Starcadia Quest, did you?
I did not back Arcadia Quest.
Okay.
I did not. I did not pre-order any CMON items.
Yeah, I did not back it either, mainly because it's like I have a crap ton of Arcadia
Yeah.
Quest stuff, and I just it was like 2 months before or 2 months after the Arcadia Quest Writers Kickstarter, so I was like,
Yeah.
I'm good.
But yeah, Riders is great.
I forget, do they refer to, is it just that the monsters are referred to as walking bags of money, or is that what they're actually called? Isn't that a thing in Arcadia Quest? Like,
I mean,
you
you
get
get-
all kinds of loot.
You get gold for killing them, but not like overwhelming amounts. Then again, I've not played it a whole bunch, as noted previously, so maybe.
But yeah, you get money basically for
You
killing
get
them.
some, yeah.
Okay. I haven't played it, so I just remember hearing that.
Somebody was leading you on.
I had to just bring it down a bit.
I mean, it is kind of like you're fighting against everybody else, so the monsters are just kind of in the way.
Yeah, that's
So maybe that's kind of all right. Maybe
I'm just gonna cut it out to say maybe.
All right. So my number 8 is Caverna.
Hey.
Sheepy sheep. I love them so much.
is this the first sheepy sheep on the list?
It is the first.
I think it's the only sheepy sheep on the list.
Gasp!
I think. I don't know for sure. I'll have to double check.
the
But
three
yes,
crests.
Caverna by Uwe
Uwe Rosenberg.
Just say the
How do you
last
pr-
name.
Rosenberg. And I love it. It's definitely my favorite of his games.
Mm.
I would play it over any of them. I mean, I like most of his games except for Le Havre. Can't stand Le Havre.
There's one
But-
game of his on my list. Not in my top 10,
Patchwork.
but Patchwork.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't know. I love the way Caverna works. I like that you have, it's not just your farm building, but you also have the cave, and you get to go exploring with your adventurers, and I just love it so much. It's so good.
Do you know Caverna has caverns in it?
I had an
It's so good.
inkling. I wasn't
I
too
have to see
sure
if there's
though.
more sheep on my list. No, that's the only sheep game, or game with sheep, I should
Mm.
say. There is more. I'm sure there would be quite a few in my top 50, but it's the only in my top 10.
All right, so my number 8, I narrowed down to one dexterity game in my top 10, and that is Junkart.
Whoa!
Junkart's
I
in my
actually
top
kinda knew
50,
that.
but it's all the way at 46.
Yep, I was trying to maintain a little variety in my top 10, and so I only allowed one dexterity game, and it's the one that I am almost always in the mood to play. And
Yeah.
there's so many different game modes and ways to play it because of that. And my favorite mode is like when you take turns like giving each other pieces to stack on their own thing, and then you switch which stack you're working on. And if the one you're working on currently is the one that falls, that's when you lose. I
My
love that
favorite one is where you get to pick the card for the piece that the other people get to put on their tower.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that one's good.
There's a couple of them that do that.
Yeah.
I like the changing seat one.
It can be kind of nerve wracking. I haven't played it with more than 2 players.
The
So-
changing seat one?
Yeah,
Mm.
that's one where it's like, don't bump the table.
Yeah. That's why you keep your chair far away. You kind of lean in.
Yeah, do the terraforming Mars approach.
Junkart's
No,
good.
nothing there.
All right. You ready for number 7?
Yeah.
Number 7 is probably the biggest shock on this list. Because number 7, get your finger ready, is a Renegade Games title.
It's still not R.
That's
There you go.
It's
Raiders
number
of the North
1.
Sea is number 7
Ah.
for me.
Oh, wow.
That's
Oh,
only
yeah.
half.
Cult of the New.
I mean, it's an
You've
older
played
game.
it a bunch, though.
But this has to because Ashley enjoys playing
Yeah.
it.
No, that's
This
fantastic.
has it's a really solid game that I'm able to play with my wife a lot, and she
Mhm.
doesn't play a whole lot of games, so
I think
that's
awesome.
why it earns its place on the list.
Yeah, I knew it was an older game, but I know you just recently got it a
True.
couple months ago. That's why I said what I did.
So Eric Shearer is saying that every nest needs more sheep.
To blow up, sure.
I wonder if he's a little biased because of his last name.
Shearer, I get it.
All I know
That's
is Minecraft taught me that I just go up and tap the sheep with my shears, and then
They turn into a block.
just a block of wool pops off, and then they're naked now.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. I like
Just like if you need the birds and the bees is like, I hand you an apple, and then they kiss and baby pops out.
Oh my gosh.
I never saw that aspect in Minecraft.
Oh,
I
I should show you mine. It's got a whole bunch of cats in it.
I just like animals.
What
It
kind of
would.
apples are you giving out?
Huh?
I like
Well, the cats keep away the creepers.
creeper.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
So I just take, because you take the fish and just give them a bunch of fish, and they just like multiply.
It's a creeper. Don't tell me. I don't
It's
care.
the things that go spoom.
I know nothing about Minecraft. I don't even know why I asked. So, Philip, what's your number 7? Is that the number we're on?
Yes.
That
Okay.
is number 1. You are correct. All right. My number 7 used to be number 1
Mm.
forever.
It's Munchkin.
Munchkin.
Wow. I didn't
Wow.
expect to be at that
I didn't
low.
expect it to go down that low either. When was the last time you played Munchkin? I mean, I'm not saying that it can't be in your top 10 because you haven't played it in a
Oh.
while, because I have games like that, but
That's how long it's been.
Yeah.
Because no one will play with you. Oh.
I don't know when the last time I was back when
Because all the friends that you used to play it got married and moved out.
Was it one of
moved
your
away.
mancation things?
back when no, they never. Well, actually, we did. So that is a story about Munchkin. Is at our friends
Like a bachelor party.
at our friends we combined.
You've told that story.
We combine. Have I told it on the podcast?
I'm
Yes,
pretty
Yeah.
sure
you
you told
have.
it.
At
Well,
least
I'm
twice.
telling it again. I'm sure Eric hasn't heard it.
Colin, you can edit this part out, right?
Yeah, he's gonna edit this part out. Yeah, but so at the combined bachelor party mancation, I'm downstairs playing Munchkin with people, teaching them how to play, and everyone else is upstairs playing beer pong. But they're like this little trickle started happening from upstairs. It was almost like they could feel there was like this energy downstairs of just people having a good time doing something. And it's like, I got to go figure out what that is. And it eventually, there was a migration away from beer pong to Munchkin. And yeah, we played Munchkin well into the daylight.
That's great.
That was good times.
That is good.
It's a feel-good tale.
Wow.
It just warms my spirit.
It,
No,
do- it
that
is
was the
surprising.
alcohol.
It is surprising that it made it down to 7, though.
Cindy.
My number 7 is a new one to the list,
Uh-huh.
and that's Azul.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah, Azul. I fancy it.
Nice.
It makes me happy. I always enjoy playing. I've still never won, but
I've made sure of that.
one day I shall win. One day, hopefully. One day.
I didn't realize you were a big fan of the Starburst.
I do like Starburst. I mean, I haven't had a Starburst in a long time, but I do enjoy the flavor of the strawberry ones. But I think they're strawberry, unless they changed it to watermelon, which is gross. But
No, that's a different pack, I think.
okay. But yes, Azul. I like it. It is fun, and I don't have to win to enjoy it. So that's good.
That's going to be a recurring theme as we move up higher on the list.
There's quite a few games that I really enjoy that are like in my top 20 that I never win. Like Pursuit of Happiness. Love it game. Never win.
You didn't win the last game we played?
Oh, I did win the last game we
Yeah,
played.
yeah.
That was the first time I ever won, though.
Yeah. Totally offset my whole playing the Grim Reaper thing. So, my number 7 is actually was recently mentioned in the chat by Adam. It's Unfair.
Ooh.
So, Unfair theme park building and kind of sort of building up your engine, and then the game starts knocking you around in the second half.
Mm-hmm.
Also a CMON title.
It is a
Yes.
Simon title.
Yeah. One
One of the only ones I like.
They offered the American
That's
distribution.
not true.
I know. I'm teasing.
You lie.
What'd she say? I wasn't listening.
One of the only ones I like.
Oh yeah, I heard Simon and I blacked out.
Mm. I heard CMON and paid extra attention.
But they're not the original publishers of it.
No, it's Good Games Publishing,
That's what I thought.
and Simon's just like the distributor or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, Unfair. I love the theme park theme. Theme park theme. And it's a card game that I'm actually decent at least at 2 players.
Mhm.
That's
That's fair.
usually when we play it. No, it's unfair.
Hey.
You're shaking the table.
Oh, sorry.
All right.
But yeah, Unfair. I love it.
Number 6 for me was my number 10 last year, and it had an expansion that I got this year at Origins, and that's why it's up high on the list, because you should never not play with this expansion. And that is Role Player.
yeah.
Role Player. It's Dungeons and Dragons, it's dice, it's rolling dice, it's killing stuff, it's everything you could ever want in a game. I mean, it doesn't have miniatures, but this game, there's tons of dice that make up for that. And the
Nice.
expansion just added more dice. So
Awesome.
We can fix that. It doesn't have miniatures aspect.
it
Like,
doesn't need. This is one of those it doesn't need minis.
Get out.
I say that because it wouldn't fit in the box. Like I
Okay.
have like the boxes full of stuff.
They make bigger boxes. That's
yeah,
a
but
thing.
that one's got cool artwork on it.
It does have cool artwork.
Okay, we can.
That one's signed.
Okay. See, that's a signed box.
Yeah.
We'll just put that inside the bigger box.
Oh,
It's like the Hulkbuster suit.
Yeah, but yeah, I played this without the expansion, and I just was like,
This is
Like, it's a
lame.
good game. It's still a good game, but it just makes me wish I had the expansion because there's extra combos you can do.
Oh yeah.
Gotcha.
So, Philip,
Number 6 is Space Cadets Dice Duel.
that's really surprising.
Wow.
That was
You
a
had-
fun game.
Oh man.
And was it just last episode? Yeah. What's that dice rolling space
Yeah.
theme game? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, now I have a list. I got
He need, yeah.
43 things on here.
You
man.
want it? It's sitting over there.
Huh? I'll take it. Hell yeah, man. That was a great game.
As we learned when we were talking to Connor, dice rolling real time games not my bag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Love them. It was just the
I enjoy them.
the crazy hecticness and the teamwork of it. That's what it was. That was the fun part. Because it was was it me and Randy?
It was you and Ryan and me and Randy.
Okay, yeah, me and
So
Ryan.
yeah, like me and Randy were like the two most analytical people going like, oh, what do we do?
Uh-huh.
And you and Ryan are just like, move, shoot, move. We're like, we're dead. We've only moved 3 spaces.
I like real time games like that. Real time dice rolling stuff.
Yes.
It's fun.
That's good.
All right. So my number 6 is another new game, and that is Quacks of Quedlinburg.
Wow. Well, you request this game a lot, so
I
Wow.
love it. I do. I love it so much. I'm kind of obsessed with it. And I want. And the funny thing is, I just talked about a game that I've never won, and Quacks of Quedlinburg, at least in our 2-player games, which is all but my very first play of it, I've won every game. And so.
not lying.
No, but it's such a good game. I just love it. I could play it all the time. But it's not number 1. It's just quick and easy to pull out, is what it is.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So, what's yours?
My
Number
number
six.
6
Number 6
is a newcomer to the list. It's Factory Funner.
Oh.
I am totally crushing on this game. I am playing it solo.
Dude, your wife's right here.
She knows. She's accepted it.
Okay.
Mhm.
Gotcha.
But every chance I have to play this game, I'm
Did you take
like,
it?
I need to show this to these people.
Did you
These
take it to
people
work?
don't really. I have not taken it to work yet, but it's on the list.
He
Oh,
said
okay.
yet.
Well, he does lunchtime gaming with people at his office, so
Yeah, it is one of like 3 games on the to be played list.
nice.
But
All right.
it's a brain burner. It melts brains.
Yeah, I need to play it again because my first play was like, this is too annoying.
Before we move into the second half, Adam asked us in the chat room what our favorite theme to use is. Took me a second to think about it, then I
He's
scrolled.
talking about unfair.
He's
Unfair.
talking about unfair.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah.
just like the question in general, like
I was-
themes to use in games.
I was trying to log into Mob Crush so I could answer them in there. but
okay.
I
Well, then
can't
I'll
get a
just go ahead
valid
and talk about my
username.
number 5 because it is my favorite theme in games. Last year was L5R, which unfortunately has bumped down.
Oh.
Hmm.
This year it was my number 6, I believe. So it moved up a slot, and that is Arkham Horror, the card game.
Oh, is that right?
Yes. Something about Cthulhu games, they just really get really in depth on stories. So I love this is another one of those. I have a lot of stuff for it. I just need to sit down and play it. And I keep scheduling things, and then the groups just keep falling apart.
Yeah, so this is your number 5 now?
Number 5.
Awesome. Arkham Horror.
So
Wait, did you say the card game?
Yes.
Okay.
The 3rd edition did replace Eldritch Horror, but is down at number 21.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So my my number 5 works with my theme, my favorite theme, terraforming Mars.
Yes.
So
Space.
basically
You guys are
anything in
just two
space.
peas in a pod
Oh my
there.
Terraforming Mars dropped out of my top 10, I will say. It is it went to
Wow.
14 for me.
Wow.
I find with that game, I'm just reaching a plateau of like it's one of those. It's more hassle to take out and play than it is the enjoyment I'm getting out of it.
Hmm.
I'm just
Even-
waiting for the app. The app is what's going to refire that game for
There we go.
reignite that.
But
game
then
for
will it ever come off the shelf?
no.
So wait, what's your
Because
favorite?
it'll just be in the pocket.
Yeah.
What was your favorite 5? I mean, what was your number
His
5?
number 5 is Terraforming Mars.
Oh,
Terraforming
thank
Mars,
you.
yeah.
Sorry. I don't, that's why we got on there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got so
Anything in
distracted.
space.
I got so distracted. Sorry.
In
All right.
fact, I'm looking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
The rest of his games.
7 out of my 10 are in space.
So my number 5 is Lords of Vegas.
Nice.
For a second, I was like, wouldn't it be funny if she said Lords of Waterdeep?
It is a good game, but no. Yeah, Lords of Vegas. And surprisingly, that is one of my top 2 favorite themes in Unfair, because gangster and jungle are my 2 favorites in Unfair. So it kind of works that, you know, gangsters, Vegas, that whole. Well, it's more so just like the 40s theme of Vegas.
That's the dice game that you've played.
Yeah.
He knows.
I know, but it's
Yeah.
just like
That
every
is
time.
like the question. It all the time is like, hey, what's that? What's that kind of westernist game with the dice that I kind of liked?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that one.
But yeah, I really like Lords of Vegas because I like that it's not just like you get to build up your city and you can benefit from it. But if somebody's pulls ahead, they don't necessarily stay ahead. Like somebody else can come and just with a crazy random dice roll, they could take over an entire casino and then end up winning the game. It's just amazing how it works. It's so much fun.
Yeah. You just got to build up the money to be able to force those big re-rolls.
Mm-hmm. That's so exciting. It's like, woo! And then every turn, you're like, everybody's re-rolling. And it's like, that's just so awesome.
All right. So now that I'm not distracted anymore trying to create a Mob Crush profile, my number 5 is Suburbia. Told you it was top 5 material.
Suburbia. Every time I hear Suburbia, I think of Disturbia by.
Yeah, that pops into my
Rihanna.
head every single time.
The rhythm made me think of the Notorious by Duran Duran.
That's what I was thinking, too.
Notorious.
Anyways.
So-
So solo game that he likes. Okay. Anyways.
Oh, whatever. I'm so
You've got to stop calling this a solo game. It is not a
It
solo
is not
game.
a solo game. There's definitely interaction.
There's communication between the tiles themselves and taking tiles that other people need out of the market.
That doesn't count if there's communicate. What does that even mean?
It's saying like
hey Phil, these tiles are
airports-
talking to each other, but that means it's not solo game.
like if I put an airport into my city, for every other airport that's out in general, I will get a reward.
Mm-hmm.
It's so fun.
And like restaurants, if I build a restaurant in my suburb, everyone else that has like a fancy restaurant, their income actually goes down because thematically I'm taking customers away from them.
Yeah. It's so fun.
So yeah, Suburbia is, especially with the Suburbia Inc. expansion,
With the border tiles.
is excellent.
Yeah. I like the themes on the border tiles.
Ink, INK or INC?
INC.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Incorporated.
I think it'd be a little better if it was like INK, where you had like railroad.
I'm
ink.
honestly
And you had-
surprised there isn't
Can we mix railroad ink and suburbia?
Actually,
Is
no.
that what the guess
Fun
is?
story. I think I know someone that was working out they were pitching to Bezier Games a rolling Suburbia, a roll and write version of Suburbia.
That's kind of cool.
Oh.
which one?
What?
What? I spaced. I was reading the chat.
I know somebody. One of the other Punchboard Media creators was actually had rules for a rolling Suburbia
Oh.
that they pitched to Bezier. It didn't. I don't think it. They got notes for it, but I don't think they got.
They picked it up.
You'd need bigger dice.
Anyways, I'm gonna drown you out now and talk about an FFG game.
Yeah, go for it.
Number 4 replaced L5R in my heart, and that is Keyforge.
Of course.
course.
Call of the Archons. I love this game. As much as I love CCGs, this is just look. I can go pay $10. I got a deck. Let's play.
There you go.
Again, it gets rid of a big problem I have with
Exactly.
card games.
There's a new set coming out.
Yeah.
Anyways, I won't talk about it. I've talked a lot about Keyforge.
Yes, you have.
Some would say more than enough.
Some would say we could say the same thing about you and Westerns.
Touche.
I keep my talking to a limit. Like, I know when I've reached it.
We're very vocal that we like westerns, but we don't overextend our talking of them.
Oh crap!
Whatever. Your Mr.
Phil-
Talks a
Philip.
lot over there.
Philip, number 4.
I'm gonna go sit over there. Are you pooping?
What the heck?
So
I gotta be careful with Colin to start cutting stuff out.
he will. He'll start making like.
Yeah, you've seen what power I have.
Well, Chris has the same power.
I just choose to ignore it and usually just like, okay, I trust him.
And then he just yells at me after the fact.
Exactly.
Hey!
All right. So number 4, Doctor Who: Time of the Daleks.
This surprised me. The first time you made this list, it was at number 2, and we
That's
only
right, it
played
was.
this game once.
It was great.
And I didn't get like a really big experience. Like it was fun, but it was also like a lot. It was a learning game.
It was a learning
There
game.
was a lot of like confusion on how stuff works. So like I'm surprised it made this big of an impression.
We need it's one of the cool things about it is the I liked in the instruction book how they said, "Hey, so we're going to talk about a scenario that you can't play in the base game yet.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be in an expansion
That
which
you'll get in 5 years.
obviously we've already like printed." So just give
Or
us
they
some-
haven't.
or they haven't, or they just like had a prototype card.
Because I don't think they still have come out with any expansions.
They
for that
haven't.
Game.
They're
I, think
probably just,
I
like-
think they came out. I take that back. I think they came out with like the 10th Doctor and like the 3rd or something.
There was
I think it's coming out like right around now.
There was an expansion that was just given to you in the game, and it was the dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We need to play this again.
That was a fun game.
We need to break this out again.
I forget,
And
is
I
it
feel like we
competitive
need
or
to-
cooperative?
It's cooperative.
It's cooperative. But I feel like we do need more people
Yeah.
because it was I think it was an up to 4-player game.
It probably was up to 4. Well, I
Yeah.
think it comes with 4 in the box.
Comes with 4 in the box. Yeah, dude, that'd be crazy if you had all the doctors. Like, yes, this is now a 13-person game. Let's do this.
Oh my gosh.
The game would be over by the time it got to like the 10th person.
Yes, it would.
Hmm.
Yes, Doctor Who.
Cool. My number 4 has already been talked about.
Is
Wait,
it
wait.
unfair?
No. You
Hold
just
on.
said it.
Was it on
Suburbia?
Colin's?
It's
okay.
Suburbia.
I was gonna say it's on Colin's list.
Yeah. My number 4 is Suburbia. For, the same reasons he mentioned. I just love it. It's such a great game.
She just likes it a little more because it's higher.
Just a little more.
Yeah,
You
one of
know.
the border tiles is like a toxic waste disposal
Oh my gosh,
area.
it's so great.
If it touches anything, you get minus reputation like 5,
Yeah.
but you get a big income because you give a place for people to dump their stuff.
Oh, there you
Yeah.
go. That's
It's pretty great. Yeah. That game is just the theming and the way that the tiles interact, and like he said, when it adds in the border tiles, the way that they interact with the other tiles in the base game, it's so cool. Like, it makes sense. If you're gonna put, not a hostel, not a mobile park. What's the residential area that
it's
makes
like
every other residential go down?
oh, I can't remember.
I can't think of it either.
It gives you
But-
like 10 population, but it like brings your reputation down 2 if it touches anything.
Isn't that high rise or something?
No,
No.
it's like trailer park type thing, but it's not a trailer park.
The
It's just-
projects.
Oh yeah, the project.
So what I usually do with that is I put
Put
a
a
lake,
lakes
and then it's
by
on
it.
the other side of the lake, so it doesn't touch anything.
Yeah,
there you
it's
go.
just so funny the way that they theme this, and I like the way the tiles interact. It's great. It makes sense thematically with how you would build a city, and it's
Or how you would encounter things in a city.
right.
anyway.
Yes, how you would encounter things in a city. Exactly. It's just awesome. Oh, and in the collector's edition, the nightlife, they're actually gonna have like criminals.
Oh yeah, criminal activity.
Oh my god, it's so funny.
Is it gonna be like the robber in Catan?
I don't know.
You just randomly
I don't
roll a
remember.
die. and-
No,
Oh,
there won't be
okay.
any die rolling.
All right, gotcha.
But anyway, so yes, number 4 for me is Suburbia.
My chest. I had a burp stuck in my throat.
You got a pain in your chest.
Ew.
You can't breathe.
All right.
So number 4 for me is Lewis and Clark, and we
That's
can put this
high.
in the Western category.
That's high. That's a wow.
Yeah, it's another game that I don't mind playing solo.
Yeah, true.
The solo mode works really well because you're actually competing with something. I mean, nothing really changes for you necessarily, but this guy is like constantly racing you to the
Mhm.
West Coast, and every turn he moves another space, and so there's a constant push to get out there.
Because every turn you don't necessarily move.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But multiplayer is great. You're laying down cards. You have to play like pairs of cards, so some of your cards you're not going to be able to use in
Unless
a
you
given
use
round.
the Indians.
Yeah, until you pull them back up into your hand. Make camp. But all the resource management, the way the cards react off, because you react off of your neighbor's cards. So certain cards give you resources based on symbols that are showing on both your cards and your neighbor's cards. So if you have a 3-player game, you're including everyone's symbols, and so it's
It's a
great.
good game.
And it's Vincent Dutrait art,
Oh, so beautiful.
and it's just good.
Mm-hmm. That is a good game.
Number 3.
All right, this is your bronze medal.
This is that it is that slot, guys.
All right.
This is that slot that had the most debate on this entire list. This is the is it Blood Rage or is it Rising Sun?
Oh.
All right.
I will say, however, that the loser of this actually got bumped all the way down to 39. Actually, not because it was just more of given the choice. I'm always going to pick this game. And then I'd rather pick other things. It's one of those like, if I'm in the mood for a particular type of game, I'm always going to pick my number 3 game.
And
Rising Sun. We did
nice.
We did Blood Rage followed by Rising Sun. I like Rising Sun better.
Yeah.
I'm kind of in that camp too.
I can get that. Yeah.
And here, like, this is the main reason why. And this goes back to the games I suck at problem. Where I think the only time I've won Rising Sun is that first 3-player game that we played.
Oh,
and
yeah.
that was more of a learning game anyways.
Mm-hmm.
Ever since then, I've done terrible at this game.
You didn't win our 3-player game?
No, I think
No, I
Colin
won.
won.
I
Yeah.
won.
Oh, okay. I did not win.
I
'cause you
caught back.
guys
I
screwed
did
me.
make a major comeback.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but
you
I
guys
still didn't
screwed
win.
me.
That's kind of, and that's why I like Rising Sun.
But yeah,
And that's what I appreciate about you.
the funny thing is, the first game we played 3-player, I was locked out of the deals for most of the game.
Yeah.
And this one, I was locked out. And I think the first one, I came in last place.
Yeah.
And this one, I came in first place. So it was pretty cool. Like, I was able to adapt in this one, learning the strategies.
Yeah, Blood Rage is.
Well, I was winning until that final round.
Blood Rage is great. It's a great game, but it's a straight up like, hey, I'm just gonna beat the crap out of you. Just it's just straight dudes on the map, which is fun.
That didn't hurt.
But and there's also an aspect of I like the Japanese style theme more than I like nothing wrong with Vikings. But with Rising Sun, yes, there's a bit of that, but there's also like
There's the turtles.
I could just be a jerk.
Yeah. Rising Sun has different aspects to it. Like the whole first part of the game where you're doing the different actions.
Right.
I really like that aspect of it. And then I mean, but for me, I like the theme of Blood Rage better. Like I like the Viking lore theme and
Right.
the gods and all that better than I liked the Japanese theme. But I do overall I think like Rising Sun better.
See, that's the thing. It's like I know I'm not going to win Rising Sun, but I can manipulate people in Rising Sun, and
Mhm.
that's what makes it fun.
Yeah.
You can put diplomacy into any game. I did that with Euphoria. Remember how we were talking about the buildings? It's like,
Oh,
hey,
yeah.
both you and me go there, we can lock them out.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, ultimately, I had to come down to I'd rather play Rising Sun. It's a bigger footprint, and then especially it's kind of weird because I've backed all that extra stuff coming to me. But I'll get in Blood Rage. Blood Rage may become a digital thing
Mm.
Oh,
because
yeah.
you back digital too,
I backed
right?
digital.
Oh, you also got all the extras.
I got all the
too.
stuff. Yeah. Heck yeah, man. People are gonna want those.
Yeah.
All right. So my bronze medal goes to Star Wars X-Wing miniatures game.
Ooh.
Yes. This was the game that got me into like miniatures and all that kind of stuff.
I would say this is probably like the game that got you into like board gaming.
Into
Like-
more, yeah, because like
we were other than Munchkin games,
Yeah.
other than because I think we were playing Munchkin a lot.
we were
at this
playing Munchkin
time.
a lot.
But I think it was like I got the Star Wars game, or I
Mhm.
got the X-Wing, and then I was like, "Hey, Philip, you really need to play this."
Mm.
And then yeah,
And then Philip got, and there was a period where just like every week at the store we were just
Mhm.
playing.
every Wednesday.
Yeah.
That's
I
cool.
forget. Are the models for X-Wing, are they pre-painted? Like,
Yes.
Yes.
Okay,
They are pre-painted.
that's a relief.
I mean, a lot of you'll go to tournaments and people have custom paint jobbed
Yeah.
all their stuff.
Mm.
It's kind of cool.
In fact, I know I have a friend of mine that I met online at some of these tournaments, and she does a phenomenal job
Mm.
doing these paintings.
Here
What's
we're-
the ones you've been painting, Chris?
Star Wars Legion,
Legion.
which actually didn't appear on my list, but X-Wing holds at 44 for me, and I have
Oh,
a
yeah.
feeling that may get replaced by Legion. I just don't know if I've played it enough to rank it.
Mm.
Gotcha.
There was a I remember somebody talking about when episode 7 came out
Yeah.
and with Black One. No,
Mhm.
it was
Pose X-Wing.
Pose X-Wing. People were painting one of the generic X-Wings in that style, and then they came out with the pre-painted version
Yeah.
with the correct
Oh, that's the thing, because
with
they're
the
all to
correct
scale.
astromech unit. Yeah.
Like all the
Oh.
minis are to scale.
That's awesome.
To to their own scale.
Well,
The one thing we
the
one thing we
epic
make
ships
fun of.
are at a different scale.
Yeah, the one thing we make fun of is the rebel transport. The little spire thing up top is the cockpit, and like I think a couple of guys are supposed to be standing up in there, and that thing is the exact same size as like the X-wing cockpit, where it's a dude sitting down. And like,
But
you're supposed to
because-
fit 5 guys up here, and it's the same as this one.
But they
guy.
had to kind of shrink it. Like they're all like those are just some of the big ships that aren't legal for tournament play, anyways. They're more for story.
yeah,
Gotcha.
thematic stuff you wanted. Yeah.
I didn't realize there's a story aspect to it.
There,
you
there's
can
a,
create a whole
yeah,
bunch of
and there's a campaign of people that do like a co-op game of it. It's like Heroes of the Atari Cluster.
That's pretty sweet.
That first, was it Nova,
Yeah,
where we went to the basement
yeah.
and we saw they
Oh, the huge ship.
yes,
Yes.
they created a Star Destroyer, and they're like, yeah, we're just gonna have battles around this thing.
Yeah, I remember you
And
talking about
there's
that.
they do that as a thing where like every now and then
They'll do a
there's-
trench run,
there's-
won't they?
well no because it's a Star Destroyer.
Oh yeah. Well,
So
somebody said they do a trench
Oh,
run.
there
too.
might be.
They'll-
But every now and then, part of that is yeah, you're battling around it. Every now and then, the turbo lasers on the Star Destroyer fire, and you have to dodge them. I've actually been having an inkling to play this again. You don't have the second edition stuff though,
I
right?
don't have the second edition. I do want to
We can fix that.
find it. Yeah, just switch it all over.
Cool.
Because I do like that they switched to like small. They added medium bases,
Yeah.
small, medium, and large. Yeah.
But this is one of like, even if I had an inkling, I wouldn't buy it. I'd just go say, "Hey, Randy, can I play?" I'm sure
Oh,
he'd
yeah.
play.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So my number 3 has also already been mentioned.
Star
and that's-
Wars.
It's Euphoria.
No, it's unfair.
Wow.
Nice.
I love this game so much. So much. I can't wait for the expansions for all the fun new packs. Oh, and then the new expansion they announced, it's not on Kickstarter yet. I don't know when. But they're going to have an ocean theme pack. And I am so excited for the ocean theme pack.
And also kaiju.
I don't know what that is.
Nice.
Yeah.
Giant monsters like Godzilla.
And
Oh,
there's
okay.
rumor that they might kind of cross over between the ocean and kaiju.
I could see that.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
just
I remember seeing the teasing for that. But yeah, oh my gosh, I love Unfair. It's just so great. And a lot of people are like, I don't know that I'm going to like it because it's mean. Colin and I play and we're not mean at all because I don't.
Well, we're rarely
mean because I don't like
That's
being.
not quite fair of you, though.
I don't like being that way. And so, but you don't have to play mean. And the game does it for you because those last 4 rounds, it tears you down.
Yeah, it's really like a last resort. It's like, I can't do anything for me, so yeah, I'm going to knock
Just
you
gonna
down.
I mean,
you up.
I'm
And
gonna knock you down.
it's not it's not impossible that one of us would play a negative card on the other person, but it's not
Mhm.
often. So I love Unfair. So good.
It is good. Oh, yeah. So my number 3 was number 2 last year. It is Kingdom Builder.
What's your number 2?
Well, you'll find out momentarily.
will.
Keyforge. Come on now. No. I'm sorry. It's Android Netrunner.
Oh, yes. It's really skyrocketed.
Oh my word.
So, yeah, Kingdom Builder. Again, like I was saying with Circle of the Wagons, love the variable scoring conditions, and the setup's different every time.
Mm-hmm.
And you got the different player powers you can get in the game. But it's basically a abstract game with different powers and scoring conditions. That's
Yeah.
what it boils down to. And it is themeless. I will admit that. But it's good. It gets that crunchy part of the brain going. You have to, on your first turn is the most important turn of the game,
Oh yeah.
because you establish what am I next to, because you always have to build adjacent if you can.
Right.
Oh, okay.
And so you're trying to position yourself either next to a good superpower for the game, or make sure you're touching just a specific terrain to work in a certain direction.
Right.
So
It is a good game too.
So, I kind of feel like we need to take a new tactic here.
Okay.
What?
Because if we say the number 2s, it
Mhm.
makes the number 1s kind of obvious.
mm-hmm.
I almost feel like we need to say the number 1s, and then it leaves it kind of like, wait, what's the number 2?
You guys know my 1 and 2. I mean, how could you not?
Nobody knows my 1 and 2.
No, we don't.
I know
No.
you're 1
You know my 1.
because I helped you make the list. So,
It was
all right,
number 1 on
I'll-
both lists, wasn't it? Yeah.
Huh?
It was number 1 on both lists, wasn't it? Yeah.
There's anyone that knows you is not going to be surprised that you're number 1. But I will say number 2 for me.
Number 1 or number 2?
Well, we can just
We'll do them in order.
We'll do them.
Do them in order.
All right. Number 2 for me. My favorite Cthulhu game, Mansions of Madness, 2nd Edition.
I was
New to
wondering
the
if that was
list.
going to hit. I figured it probably would.
Yep. Again, this has got everything I love. It's got dice, it's got minis, and it's got the added aspect of it's a game that Ashley really likes to
Yeah,
play.
I was going to say, and it's got Ashley.
Yeah. And the app and the puzzles are really good. Especially, I've been hearing like how some of the expansions work.
Mm.
Where one of the newest expansion, like you're on a cruise ship,
Oh,
and like so it has like a bunch of cruise ship tiles, and half the group or a couple of the people in the group are cultists. So there's like a hidden traitor aspect to the
Whoa.
game where you pass the app around because you put in you play what player, and it'll be like hand it to whoever's playing this character, and it'll tell you and it'll tell you like the one person's like, oh, by the way, this is the other traitor. But it may not tell the other person who the other traitor is.
Mm.
So there's just like so much cool stuff
That's really
that they can
neat.
do for it because you got this app involvement in it.
That's really
I would
cool.
like to play that again.
See, that sounds like it.
I would
like,
too.
I'd get the app, and it's like, Colin is the other traitor, and then Colin gets the app. It doesn't tell him squat.
Right. I think literally that's
That's
how it
great.
goes. Like it gives him like I think it's like if you're the first person that's the traitor,
Mhm.
it just tells you like a bunch of extra stuff. If like Colin's like the second traitor, it just tells him you're the other traitor or something like that.
Ah,
Mm.
Like I think like you have like there's a target you have to protect.
Okay.
He doesn't know the target. I don't think he just knows that like you're the other cultist or something to that effect. I didn't get into big details because I didn't want to get something spoiled. So it's
That's
something.
really
It's
cool.
yeah. But yeah,
Awesome.
time is really the only thing that keeps this game from hitting the table, just because it is a bit to set up,
Mm-hmm.
and especially because I don't have it organized yet. It's all just kind of in the box.
Uh,
Like at this point, it's just a mound of minis off of bases. Like I need to get them all like glued onto the bases and stuff, and then I'm
Gray blobs.
yeah.
I'd play it again though. I enjoyed it.
I will say though that the one that we played, that was the
We did
fishing dock
and
one.
we did
Mhm.
something incorrectly too.
I don't like that one. That mission, because I played the first mission twice, and it was completely different both times. Played the second mission twice, and it was like the exact same thing.
Is that the one we did?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah. Like it randomized like one or two items, but the overall flow was like almost identical, and I was
Huh.
like,
yeah, it's like
this is kind of dumb.
Well, we got nowhere to go up but up then.
Exactly. And then I've only played. Well, no, I've played a third one. They had a third one that I've played. That was the one where halfway through the game I had to stop talking,
oh.
which is a stretch for me.
Mm.
So, but yeah,
All right. So what's your number 2, Philip?
Number 2 is Starship Samurai.
Oh.
Yes.
Even without the mini bases.
Even without the bases to remember who's who, so you don't go
this
Yeah,
did
like,
not surprise me.
stabbing the guy you're trying to work with. But yes, such a fun game.
That's surprise backstabbery.
Exactly.
It's 43 on my list.
Wow. It's way down there. All right.
Well, that's because you got Rising Sun and
Yeah.
Blood Rage, like in that dudes on a map kind of style of
of gameplay. Yeah.
gameplay. I've got to be more open. I've gone to minis on a map.
Okay.
Mm.
Yeah. that
And the
makes sense.
minis are great.
That is what keeps it in the top 50 for me.
Yes.
Hmm.
The giant.
The minis scream paint me.
Oh, they do. I mean, that's just my thing overall.
Well,
It's
like
just,
these
cool
minis
looking.
more
Not like the whole painting aspect, because I find that to be
tedious.
tedious. I mean, it relaxes you. Like that's great. I don't know. Well, you say it relaxes you,
Yeah, I'd be like,
It helps.
but it helps.
hands shaking all over the
Yeah,
place.
I mean, I think I did pretty good when I painted that mini in Atlanta.
Yeah.
At CMON.
So that's the
that
thing.
was pretty
You
good.
have to paint just trash minis first.
Yeah.
Like you
gotta-
don't paint your favorite game off the bat.
No.
You don't unless you're willing to strip them and repaint them.
There we go. Yeah, but playing just I mean, my big thing is just like Gundams,
Mm.
and that's what these look like.
Yep.
Just
Yeah.
giant mecha. Yeah, I'm all about that.
Cool.
That point tracker board's the biggest thing that impacts my opinion
Yes.
of the game. Just how much you can fluctuate if everyone gangs up on you.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
But
All right. My number 2 is Clank.
Yep.
Clank.
No
Yeah.
surprise.
No, I love it. It hasn't changed. No, that was his number 3 last time. But anyway, Yeah, I love Clank. I like the deck building. I like the adventuring. I like just trying to avoid waking the dragon, and just it's just such a good game.
And I finally won. Well, I've won a couple times, but
it's more rare.
yeah.
Are you excited for Clank Legacy?
I am.
I'm pretty amped for it.
Yeah, I think it'll be fun. I mean, the miniatures, whatever. I don't care. But
Those are separate, though, aren't they?
I have no idea. I didn't pay attention.
It seemed like it was a separate add-on kind of thing.
It might be, but I mean, it's not going to change my opinion one way or the other. I'm
Right.
sure. I'm still going to play it, and I will probably still enjoy it. Hopefully. So yeah, Clank, very good game.
So my number 2 has been mentioned.
I told you it was Keyforge or Android Netrunner.
It's No, it's Gold West.
Yeah. Really? That's number 2 now.
It's number 2 now. It was number 3 last time.
Oh, was it? Okay, this isn't
so
surprising.
it swapped places with Kingdom Builder.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's got a Mancala mechanism I can get behind because it's only going one direction, and and trying to navigate the fields, different resources.
Mm-hmm.
Your turn is simple. You activate a spot on your track, so you dropping one off in each bin that you pass, and whatever pops at the end you can use the medals to either like take a spot in town or deliver the medals to a faraway land and get points. You're getting points for different things. And there's like different orders you can fulfill. Like this order needs 3 gold and a copper. So if I get 3 gold and a copper, I was like, hey, I'm going to get those points and possibly like a little bonus on top of it.
And there's Boomtown.
Yeah.
I thought she was going to say something else.
I thought she was going to say something else too, just with the way that came out.
What'd you say?
Nothing. Your hair looks nice.
Yep.
Okay.
Especially-
Hello, Brian DeNerd. He said hey, so I had to be nice.
Exactly.
Yeah. Especially because I had already mentioned the Boomtown. I just didn't call it Boomtown.
Boomtown.
Boomtown!
All right, Chris, what's your number 1?
We're gonna
I know what your number
We're
1
gonna
is.
Pikoko this. So everyone's gonna say the number 1 to the person on their right.
No, I want to do you.
No. So I'm gonna say Philip's number 1. You're gonna say Cindy's number 1. Cindy's gonna say Colin's number 1. And
But
Colin,
that's not fair.
well, fine. Colin can say yours, or Colin can say, I don't know, whatever.
I don't know Phil's, so I can't
I was going to say,
his.
you realize I'm just going to like 3rd grade telephone this and screw hers up on purpose, right? Let's not do that.
What is it, Cindy?
I know what yours is. It's your other Stonemeyer game,
Yep.
and it's viticulture.
Yep, totally. She got it.
Just kidding.
We're talking
It is
ab-
your other Stonemeyer, though.
Yeah, it is. Just to catch him up, we're talking about our top 10 favorite games of all time. These are our number 1 games. Mine is Scythe. Of course, it's Scythe.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And especially like nailed it to the like because when I first made it, like, because it was a time of like, do I like Euphoria or do I like Scythe more? So if it was like say nailed into first place last year, this year it was bolted kind of into
Riveted in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When the expansion came out and
Rise
I
of
played
Fenris.
when Wise of Fenris came out and I just played it like I don't think I've played one game that much over a weekend before.
Hmm.
Like
Wow.
and it was like I'd do it again.
Mhm.
Like, it was just the two of us, so the gameplay just went really simple.
Slammed through that.
Yeah.
You were just
Well,
like-
with 2 players, it is. It
two
does
player,
make
you were
it-
just bam, bam, bam.
it does-
But it was and then like all the stuff that was popping up
Yeah.
and all the cool like
Yeah, we had
this
basically
is cool looking
because
stuff.
the other table when we had here, it's not a very big table, so like the Scythe board takes up like most of that table. So we had actually this table was in there, and like all the campaign stuff was laid out on this table,
Nice.
and it would just be like, okay, we need to go replace this and go grab this box, and then
That's cool.
so yeah, it's great.
Scythe is good gaming.
All right, Philip, what's your number 1?
I think Scythe is still on my list. Yeah, Scythe is still on my list. It's number 27.
That's acceptable.
All right.
It's got to be.
What do you think it is?
It's
gotta
got to
be
be
what?
Ascendancy.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Okay.
Star Trek Ascendancy is my number 1 game.
Do you think that it'll stay there purely based on the Star Trek theme?
If I can get it thrown out on the table more,
Because
it'll stay in number 1.
here's the thing.
Yeah.
Like, Twilight Imperium 4th Edition needs to hit the table a couple of times this year.
Okay.
Because I seriously think once you play TI4, you're going to be like, holy crap. Because it takes, like, everything that Ascendancy does, and it's just a little bit in a tighter package. And a little bit more of a screw you thing. Like, everything, it's like Ascendancy amped up to 11. So it's just like I'm not saying it's Ascendancy's bad, but it's just like take everything you love about Ascendancy and then just crank that knob even further.
I was gonna say you better not cut you.
Yeah. So like that's where like Twilight, like I honestly think if we get the game out more, it may appear on my top 10 next year.
Twilight
Okay.
Imperium.
Yeah.
We got a question.
Uh-oh. Having said everything I did about Scythe. So the question was, is Scythe a worthy investment? I see the price and get scared, but I've heard great things. So here's the thing. If you're going to get Scythe, you have to go all in. So that's where I would say find someone else and play their copy first. Or actually, better option is the digital version. Buy the digital version. Because it's like $20 and you're not it'll teach you the game.
Yep.
Which that can be a stumbling block for people, especially if you don't know anybody that has the game.
That's a big one. Yeah.
That may be a stumbling block. Buy the digital version, try it out, see if you like it. Because I'm telling you this, I've played it I played it with the Kickstarter where you get like the realistic resources and you get the metal coins and everything. And when you open up the base box and it's those wooden pieces, like the wooden like meeple versions of it, you're just kind of And so like when I bought Scythe, I went all in, and you're gonna want to go all in and get everything. So if you're not willing to make that like $150, $200 investment to get everything Scythe, I definitely recommend trying it out first if you can physically on the table somewhere. If not, digitally is the best way to go about.
Okay.
Yeah, makes sense.
Answer the other topic is I don't think anyone at this table's played Zelda Breath of the Wild.
No,
because we're
haven't.
not as many video gamers. I do have a Switch, but
Yeah.
I mean, Zelda's a great IP.
yeah, I've heard great things. I'm honestly just waiting for it to eventually go on sale at some point. But
Yeah,
anyways,
All right, you want to say our top one together?
3, 2, 1.
Carson City.
oh, it's so cute, guys.
Aren't we?
I'm sorry.
I don't know what
I just-
happened.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry for
Whatever.
everyone who had to see that. That was
It would be kind of hard for us to not have that. The reason why our top 10 are so close together is because we play together all the time, and it would be really sad if we liked completely different games.
I mean, to be fair, that's why I like Manchester
be
Madness.
fair.
To be fair.
because Ashley likes it. Yeah. So we don't need to hash why we like Carson City. You guys know why we like Carson City.
Go watch last year's episode.
It's an amazing game.
Hey, Lance is in the chat room. All right. We ready for some fun times?
No,
All right.
For
but
those
first-
keeping track, I had 4 westerns on my list.
I had technically 3.
For those
if you
keeping
count
track, my list
Lords of
consisted
Vegas.
of 3 CMON games and 3 FFG games.
Mine only had 1 with animals, which surprised me.
Okay, so before we get to the game show, we have to throw in an ad for Easy Roller Dice.
Yay!
Yeah.
So don't have a giveaway this week because we're in the middle of a bunch of contests and I didn't want to throw another one in the mix.
That's a good idea.
So, but like I said, this is where go to the video, youtube.com/boards and swords, and check out the support us on Patreon video. Like I said, don't have to actually subscribe or sponsor us on Patreon, but just comment on that video and subscribe to the YouTube channel, and you are entered to win these awesome metal dice. These guys make the greatest looking metal dice. They're awesome. I can't wait. We've been getting. Did you back the metal dice? I keep asking this.
the
every
new one. I
time.
did not back the new one.
Okay, they just sent out stuff. They're hoping they actually may come out sooner than they planned, and that just
Awesome.
gets me giddy that I may actually have them for Gen Con. So yeah, I'm super psyched for that. And so if you want some awesome dice, something that I was thinking about for other things, if you're a miniatures gamer and maybe you don't need to buy a bunch of metal dice or even acrylic dice, you've already got dice that come with your,
Games.
Warhammer games. The dice cup, the huge dice cup.
Yes.
You got your Warhammer 40K where you're rolling like 2,500 dice. That thing is huge. Put them all in there. I actually used that when I was playing Legion this weekend.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I threw
Oh,
them all
cool.
in there and just would shake it up and chuck it across
Oh,
the
that's
thing.
cool.
So,
Good idea.
Yes.
I
so if you're a miniatures gamer, you got that, or a dice tray. They got an
Dice
awesome
tray,
dice tray to keep it contained on the table so they don't go flying when you do.
I got a dice cup for our Power Gamer Min Maxer RPG friend
Yeah.
because he always
Right, because he'll have like 30 dice.
It was so bad that I think they had to go out and buy 2 extra packs of the Star Wars FFG dice because his character needed that many.
Yeah.
Wow.
But with that, it's game show time.
Game show time.
So I did not have this. I didn't know what I was going to do with this, but then I basically did an idea that I'd been having for a while, and the core idea of this came from Time's Up, which is where you have a select group of information, and it's just reused over and over again. So we're kind of, and this, we're doing top 10s. So I even gave these guys in advance and gave them the opportunity to study up if they wanted to. So we are using the BGG top 10. Just a refresh, that starts off with number 10, Fantasy Flight with Twilight Imperium 4th edition. This is as of today, earlier today when I made this list. Great Western Trail at number 9, Scythe number 8, Gaia Project number 7, Star Wars Rebellion number 6, Twilight Struggle number 5, Terraforming Mars at number 4, number 3, Through the Ages, number 2, Pandemic Legacy Season 1, and of course, Gloomhaven at number 1.
Which Through the Ages is it?
I believe it's the 2005 edition.
So it's just a story, not a new story.
I don't know.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter for this thing.
Does it show you in the thing?
It probably does if you look at the picture, but don't put your phones down.
Don't put your phones down.
Don't look, put your phones down. So what we're going to do here is we're going to, I've got a couple of rounds here, and I may free fly on this, how we do this. But basically what we're going to do is the first thing I'm going to do for round 1, we are going to do companies. And I am going to, I need the points. I need the coins.
All the points.
All right. I'm going to probably need more. But anyways, I'm going to say a company, and you're going to, basically this one is a real time. This round is real time.
Okay.
So the first one to name a unique game from that company that's in the top 10 gets a point. So there are some of these companies that have multiple games on there. So, for instance, I'm going to name names that aren't on the top 10. Say Arkham Horror, the card game, and Keyforge were both in there. If you're the first one that names Keyforge and you're the first one that names Arkham Horror, you'll both get a point. However, if Philip comes in afterwards and says Keyforge after you, like split second later, he doesn't get the point.
Okay.
Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
For this round? All right.
I'm going to do terrible.
I'm going to do worse.
True. Sorry.
I gave you the list ahead of time, and I promise this gets different.
Well, see, I get that. And, I looked at the list, and I'm like, I still have no idea who made most of those games.
Well, we're not going to go through all of them, all right?
Okay.
So, all right, first one is Stonemeyer.
Side.
I was calling on that one.
It was. I was like, I hesitated. My bad.
All right. FFG.
Twilight Imperium. 4th edition. Because you just
What
said
edition?
Star Wars X-Wing Miniatures.
4th edition.
Wrong for that. You were close, though. It was Star Wars Rebellion.
Oh.
You almost got it.
All right. I forgot we could keep going.
Yeah. Nobody. There was one more on there. Stronghold Games.
Great Western Trail, which isn't Stronghold anymore.
Not anymore, but at the time of publishing.
Yeah.
Who took it?
It's just Eggerspiel now.
Oh, okay.
What?
Your number 4 game. Look on your list. Number 4 game of all time.
I don't remember what his number 4 was. I know we just heard it.
Or maybe number 5. It might have been 5.
Terraforming Mars.
There you
Oh,
go.
right.
Okay.
All
Yeah.
right,
I
that
forgot
was
that
on
No.
top
Stronghold.
10.
I forgot that was
No,
Stronghold.
number.
All right.
That's Gale Force 9.
All right. We've gone long, so I'm actually going to skip.
I knew that one.
We'll skip the. I had these where the round 2 was done by year, and so that.
Everybody gets a point. There you go.
But we're going to skip to round 3, which is my ratings for the game. So, as I presented this list to you earlier,
Okay.
I have played 7 of the top 10 list.
Gotcha.
I still don't know how.
I know.
What did you play? What were the other two?
You'll find out.
She's gonna
So-
learn today.
And if you had thought there's another way you could have seen. So, anyways, I've played 7 of the top 10. So, the ones I've played have been ranked 1 through 7. The last 3 that I haven't played are ranked at 10. Because, like tie at 10.
Gotcha.
So, in that in no order. So what I'm actually going to roll a die, and I'm going to pick the game on there, and I'm going to go one by one on this one, and you're going to tell me what place it is on the list.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
Wait, what?
I understand.
Yep.
I think I understand.
I'm just going to go ahead and give away one. One is Scythe.
Duh.
That
You
one's
just said
easy.
that.
Yeah.
Okay.
All the rest of these games were not on my top 10, so it makes this a little bit easier. All right. So number 2 is Pandemic Legacy Season 1. Philip, you got a 2 through 7 chance. 2 through 7. Where do I rank
Or
Pandemic?
10.
Well, we know he's played this one.
He's played
Oh, true.
it. Yeah.
'Cause
Colin and
they
I
were
were
with-
there.
They were there.
Well, and yeah, I knew you played
Oh,
that
we
because
were
Colin was
there.
with you.
Yeah. So where did I? So 2 through 7. Where did I put Pandemic Legacy?
7th.
7th. That would be incorrect.
Whoa.
All right. Here we're gonna. So we'll add a twist to this.
We're gonna Jeopardy this.
So when somebody gets it wrong, the other 2 players can write it in to steal. You're gonna need a pen for, anyways, at some point. So, Colin, are you in?
Yeah.
Do we just want to do all of these this way?
Sure.
So instead of one by one. All right. So you already did yours.
Yes.
What do you got, Cindy?
I said 6.
You said 6. What did you say?
I said 4.
You're all wrong.
I said 5.
Wait. What?
I said
She said, "Is it 5?"
Oh, it is.
She
5.
understands she's wrong. Okay, gotcha.
Pandemic Legacy comes in at number 5.
okay.
All right. Next one. Let's do 10. Twilight Imperium 4th edition. Where do I rank Twilight Imperium 4th edition on the list?
Okay.
Everybody in?
Okay. I said number 2.
I said number 2.
I said number 2.
You're all wrong. It's number 3.
You had that. and
I
you crossed
scribbled it out.
Only because I haven't played. I've only played it once.
That's true.
Literally, I think if I had played it anymore, it would have been higher on the list. All right.
Alrighty.
Number 6 is Star Wars Rebellion. So, number 6 on BGG, where do I put Star Wars Rebellion?
I'm in.
Keep in mind, number 1 was Scythe, number 3 was TI4, and number 5 was Pandemic Legacy.
Oh, so I didn't have to write them down because you're telling us.
All right. Colin, what you got?
I said 6.
What were you? Okay. What did you say?
4.
4?
I said 7.
7. Cindy gets a point. It was number 4.
Yay.
So you got TI4 at 3, Star Wars Rebellion at 4, and Pandemic Legacy at 5.
Yeah, I thought about changing to 4.
Gaia Project. Gaia Project is number 7 on the BGG. Where do I rate the game?
I got it.
All right. Cindy.
10.
10?
10.
10?
7.
No, I have not played Gaia Project.
Okay.
I didn't think so.
She gets 2. She got 2.
We'll do one more. I think we already did 7. Yeah, we just did the same one. All right. The next one.
Just pick one.
Okay. Twilight Struggle, number 5 on the BGG list. Where do I put Twilight Struggle? Have I played
Wait a sec.
Twilight
Yeah.
Struggle?
Okay, I got my number in.
Oh, I don't know. This is hurting my head.
Fun, right?
It was not on your list of plays on BGG today,
Cheater.
but that doesn't mean he hasn't played it. Because it's been out for a while, so he could have played it before he started marking scores.
It's entirely possible.
Or before he started logging his digital plays.
It's entirely possible.
Wait, is there a digital version of Twilight Struggle?
There is. I want it because
Okay.
I want to play the game, but I couldn't get you to play with
All
me.
right. I know what it is then. I'm not writing because I'm just.
Well, all right, then what is it?
Number 7.
Okay. Phil, Colin says 7.
Number 10.
I have played Twilight Struggle, and it is number 7.
Did you hate it?
I did not like it.
I didn't think so.
I mean, like, not that like I hated it. It just was not appealing. The theme didn't intrigue me enough.
It was too.
And you're right. I've played the digital version of the game.
Yeah. As soon as he said there was a digital, I was like, that's how he's played it.
Yeah.
Because I didn't think you'd.
Yeah.
play
So
physical
the ones
version of
I've
it.
played, I'll just go through the rest. So we had number 1 Scythe, number 2 Terraforming Mars, number 3 TI4, 4 Star Wars Rebellion, 5 Pandemic Legacy, 6 Through the Ages.
So you have played
I
that
have
one.
played Through the
I didn't
Ages.
think you'd played Gloomhaven.
And the 3 I haven't played is Gloomhaven, Gaia Project, and Great Western Trail.
I knew you hadn't played Great Western Trail. Yeah, I knew that one.
And it's funny because if you had you cheated and looked on my plays. If you had looked on what I've rated, I don't know if you can look at that on other players.
You
What they've
can.
rated.
Mhm.
All of these were rated on on there, even the ones I've played digitally.
So all of them, all 10 of these?
No, the 7 I've played were
Okay.
rated. So that was
I
where
didn't
like
think to
I
look
didn't
there.
say anything because that would have given it even more away.
Yeah,
yeah,
I didn't think
I have
to
not
look
recorded
there.
the plays because the ones I've played digitally I've played against the app.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I was on my phone this morning when we were talking about it, and I was like, I don't want to use too much data to do too much research. So, interesting.
I'm
So
going to
wait.
skip the last category just because we're going long because the last category was fun and it was weight. But like actual packing weight,
Oh my god.
not like
Oh.
weight of the game. But I'm going to jump to my final question. Who's got how many points?
I have 4,
Oh.
Colin has 4, Philip had
I have
1.
a point.
You had 8 point. This one's worth 5 points.
Nice.
So the final question. I've made jokes anytime that I talk to people about Gloomhaven. That Gloomhaven, because as I've talked about, or as people, there was a podcast that they referred to it. They had a contest where it was 22 pounds of fun. Well, turns out Gloomhaven is not exactly, according to Amazon's item weight, it's not exactly 22 pounds.
Okay.
It's 21 in a decimal place. I want everyone to give me the decimal place to the 10th value. According to Amazon,
Is this where margin of error?
Yeah, is there a margin of error?
there is no margin of error,
There's
except for maybe
no mar-
Philip. I might give Philip a margin of error.
So it's 21 point something.
21 point something,
Mm, goes to which decimal place?
10th.
Okay.
So you just need to, basically, you got a 1 in 10 chance. Do you need your card back?
Oh, I'm just going to say it.
Okay. Let me know when you two are in.
I'm good.
All right. Philip, what's your guess?
0.8.
0.8?
0.7.
0.7?
0.6.
0.6. Colin, the actual weight of Gloomhaven is 21.6 pounds, according to Amazon.
Nice.
Nice.
I was going to go with 0.9.
It's still really heavy.
Just because,
though.
like, that's not exactly 22 pounds. It's
Yeah.
0.1 off.
Yeah.
I was wondering if the fact that it says 22, and it's funny, like anytime somebody's like, man, that's heavy, I'm like, it's 22 pounds heavy. And I thought people would be like, okay, well, maybe they're rounding up then. So
Yeah.
That's heavier than my
Yeah,
Amazon.
I went just high enough to where it would be logical to round up. I mean, 0.5 does technically round up, but
right.
0.6 logically, I think.
0.5,
does.
you could go either way.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right. With that, I think it's time to peace out here. That's all we got this week.
I was rolling into it. I was getting with the beat.
Should I start it over?
No, it's fine. It's fine. That's all we got this week, guys. If you like this show, you should head over to boardsandswords.com, where you can also check out the second show that we run on this channel, The Dirtbags of Holding. That's where we grab every RPG possible and we just utterly destroy it.
Ha. So you can email us comments and questions to feedback@boardsandswords.com. And you can follow us on Instagram @boardsandswordspod or on Facebook at facebook.com/boardsandswordspod. And you can also follow our individual accounts. I am Cindy Pastorius on Twitter and Instagram.
I am Colecakes196 on Twitter and Instagram.
I am Chris the Broth on Twitter and Instagram.
And I am Phil the Dirtbag on Twitter.
And this podcast is also part of the Dice Tower Network. And if you want to find some other great gaming podcasts, you can check out dicetowernetwork.com. And also, Cool Stuff Inc. does a lot to support the network. You can go and say thanks by checking out coolstuffinc.com and check out all their good gaming deals. All the time.
All right. And if you want to show some other support, you need to send some love over to easyrollerdice.com. Thanks to them for supporting us. So say thanks to them for supporting us. And if you want to support us directly, if you would like to see me drag these people into doing a bunch of bonus embarrassing recordings, because I have a feeling that's coming up.
Yeah.
Episode 1, if I quote that, we're going to do a commentary track on that. It's going to happen.
Yeah.
But not unless we hit to a certain point on Patreon. So patreon.com/boardsandswords for all that information.
Yeah.
And thank you out there for listening, for watching, for consuming this content. Just remember, until next time, that every gamer has a story, and my number one's better than everyone else's.
Boo.
Debatable.
No, thank you.
Good night, everybody.
I'm surprised by the amount of hatred for Westerns in the chat room.
It just means they have taste.
I mean, I don't like your comment, but that's a really clever way to end the show. A really fun way to end the show.
So it was funny. A couple of times on this list, I had to straight up remove and replace. Like, I did some fine-tune editing after I did the Pub Meeple thing. Because, like, 43 was Starship Samurai. Originally, it was Cry Havoc. I was like, I like... For that, it was basically like they filled a role at that place. And I was like, I like Starship Samurai more than I like Cry Havoc. And the same thing happened for 22 was originally Vast. I was like, I like Root more than Vast. But I'm going to play... They're about when I would play each of them. So I'm going to get rid of Vast and put Root in there instead.
There you go.
So what rank was that?
22. Just below Arkham Horror, the 3rd edition, and just above Bloodborne, a card game.
Yeah, I didn't even use Pub Meeple. I only did my top 10. And I was like...
Yeah, Ashes was
just
number
didn't feel like
30 for me.
Yeah.
Right above the Game of Thrones card game. Because Jimmy and I like to play that.